100%. It's really, really hard to deal with them. And luckily, you know the certain people, it's easy to deal with. Um, the issue though with this, so it sucks, and yeah, it sucks. Anyway, so I'm pretty stoked. Glad to see Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tater back as well, which is always a interesting topic. Of I don't agree 100% of everything Tate says, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm more for the money on that side. He's very very smart when it comes to that. That's all.
Thanks, Valsi.
Bugatti.
So there's an account up here that was just like spamming laughing emojis and down vote emojis. So I figured I'd bring them up. William underscore NFTs. What's going on? So I figured I'd bring them up.
Yo, what's good?
William underscore NFTs. What's going on?
I'm just trying to figure out about NFTs, man. If you could explain them to me.
Yo, why does he actually? Wait, why does he actually sound like him?
He sounds like the dollar store Alex.
When the Alex from Wish.
Sounds like Alex in the bunker.
The Alex that your mom tells you have at home.
So what's going on, William?
I'm trying to buy NFTs.
We'll go to OpenSea or Magic Eden.
No. Go to Binance Smart Chain.
Hold on. This is what I want to know. Alex, why were you spamming laughing emojis and thumbs down and stuff?
I think I recognize that voice.
It's all good. All right, let's just jump to the hands here. Let's go over to Crad. Crad, go ahead.
I just think that there's so much stuff going on in this space right now. It's really cool kind of seeing everyone get together and wanting to hear about the changes that are happening. I really dig that, it's, 7:30 for me right now, West Coast, and, it's just nice seeing everyone get together and wanting to move forward and trying to build the space and just keeping a positive outlook on everything. I really love this.
Appreciate you, Crad. Yeah, I mean, that's all we really can do in moments like this. Just get together and talk about it. Like, straight up, that's all we can do. So appreciate you, Crad. Gandhi, go ahead.
Hey, GM. Thanks for bringing me up, Leap. I just wanted to add regarding the transparency, I fully agree. And in the future, I'd like to see actually the exact reasons for a suspension and also the exact tweet maybe that set off the suspension, and perhaps even how it was reviewed. So, for example, was it a committee? Has the decision been made by actual people, or was it the algorithm? And actually, I see the whole reporting thing as a huge issue, because why should a group of people, for whatever reason, have the power over an account, right? So not even talking about Alex now, for example, if you say you're shadow banned and you assume that it's because of the bots, I mean, why should other people who buy those bots, or however they do it, why should they have the power to weaken your account in a way that you're shadow banned? And actually, I wrote a thread about the shadow ban thing like 2 days ago, because I saw many of my friends also had issues, and I myself had issues. And during that time, I did a lot of research, and I found out if you are shadow banned, it's the best thing to get rid of it as soon as possible. And for me, it actually worked. I stopped tweeting for 3 days, and I didn't have any issues since then. And I think in my case, what set off the algorithm was that I was just replying too many GMs to too many people. That was the issue. Yeah, but also here I would expect some transparency to tell people, hey, what did I do wrong? Otherwise, we can keep guessing, and everybody is like speculating what's going on with every account. But in the end, we will never know it, and everybody needs to be kind of careful to do something wrong, especially if you don't know it.
Yeah, I agree. It's, I mean, and this is why I think we need to talk about censorship tonight, because sometimes it takes like bigger things like this to really raise the conversation. And let's just theorize for a second, right? And I typically don't want to talk about Alex, but he's a massive entity within the space, and he got banned. That's a big deal. It needs to be talked about. Let's just theorize for a second. Maybe he violated terms of service from like vocal abuse or something like that. I know you can't just like, there is freedom of speech, but if you're like death threatening or something, if there's any sort of threats that get interpreted, then you can get suspended for that. I'm pretty sure. I'm actually going to pull up. I'm not saying he did that at all. I'm just trying to set the level here. So let me see. Twitter terms of abuse. Let's just see what it says here.
It's a private company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And they can also ban people for being a piece of shit.
Damn, Digital, you're coming in hot today. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna read this here. I mean, I agree with you. It is a private company and they can do what they want. But like his whole thesis when he bought the thing and what he was tweeting about before was, we want freedom of speech. Like that was the whole point. He was getting upset that he was getting like.
It's a business. Alex is bad for business.
But that's not true, though.
It is true.
I don't know if that's true.
No. Think about it. NFT projects, right? When we complain about rugs, there needs to be a buyer in order for there to be a seller. NFTs go somewhere. Just because he had a lot of people does not mean that he was bringing new people into the ecosystem. He was a cancer. He brought a lot of people into a cancerous room.
That's a strong word.
I'm wrong word. I'm sorry. He was the social equivalent of a ramping up amoeba of inefficiency and unintelligence and sarcasm that wasn't necessary in our space. And I'm happy as fuck that it's gone.
Did
you say amoeba?
Hold on. Okay, so I understand why you're saying that, and it's not like and just for the record, I mean, it wasn't content that I consumed. It just wasn't for me. But to say it was bad for business, I think is almost like the business of Twitter is having people engaged on the app, right? They want people engaged on the app.
They were already on the app. They were just huddled in a 4chan, 8chan hole that he provided, and now they can be distributed to actual intelligence, conversation, and meaningfulness, which is what the space needs.
There's no way.
Dude. You pretend that it means something, that he was successful, quote, and I'm doing air quotes. He was successful for bringing everything together. He was being paid by a fucking company that was backed by Paradigm to lure people into an ecosystem where he could then sell them NFTs and projects. Fuck him. Fuck anything he did. I don't give a shit how successful he was. And I hope it's recorded. I hope it gets replayed. Fuck him.
Wait, okay, so time out. Just time out for a second. Let's try to think about this as objectively as possible. Okay, let's just think let's take all subjective opinions out of it and just try to think about it on like a straight up censorship level. First of all, I think he was good for business with Twitter. That's just my opinion. I think like getting thousands and thousands of people to engage actively in their live. I mean, until Mario started popping off, like Alex was the biggest Spaces host, like 5 spaces a day, pulling thousands of people onto the app, making them active, making them engage in tweets, so on and so forth.
That's where you're incorrect. You're saying that they're hopping onto the app instead of saying they're already on the app and then huddling into a mindless core. That's where your difference. I agree. New people, fantastic. Stealing people from existing ecosystems into a toxic hole of nonsense and lack of education and lack of thorough thought put, and also potentially a bunch of potentially really, really, really shitty market manipulation and financially egregious actions. No, he wasn't good for the space.
Well, I mean, typically, today wasn't the day I thought I was going to be defending Alex, but I guess it is what it is. I think that having people on the app already is much different than actively getting people to commune within certain spots on the app and also making them much more active than they were. If you're just scrolling the timeline, that is less value, like compared to a user that's actively joining spaces, actively participating, throwing emojis, liking, commenting, retweeting tweets. All of that is much, much different and much more beneficial to the platform than people just scrolling the timeline and clicking the like on a tweet every once in a while. Like, I think like to say that he was bad for business is much different than saying he was bad for the space, right? So there's two very specific things
was
here.
Bad for humanity.
But I think something important
to
point out. There's something important to point out. It was like no one really knows the reason why he's banned. Like there is no official reason, or he hasn't communicated one or any notice. there was a tweet from DGen News of someone filing a report, but that's not necessarily the reason he got banned. And yeah, I think yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like Twitter could do what they want. It's a question of like, what should they want on their platform, or what should they take action against to remove off their platform? And I think it's just you have to figure it out, and like, there's no perfect answer. There's a subjective opinion every single part of this.
You think he got botted and banned within 2 weeks of Elon taking over, and it was because it got botted just randomly?
They did.
Fuck off.
No, they
Yeah,
did.
I mean, there was like the
isn't
Discord reporting and stuff
You
with the
can-
Valhalla stuff. I don't know if that's what's banned him though, but
It's obvious.
I
You
think
can go look on Social Blade. You can see they're doing it to FUD right now too. It takes a couple of days, and this wasn't since Elon's been there. This has been going on for a long time. People have been taking down accounts on Twitter by doing this. It costs a lot of money, mind you, but it's very obvious. You can see it wasn't Twitter just choosing to ban him.
Wait,
Yeah,
Zintani,
it's
what are
only
they?
But
popping
also,
up more
Fidget,
now.
I think there is a point that he didn't have. I don't think he had the $8 check mark. I think that might, with the Elon switch, I could see that being a factor. Is that, you're definitely not a bot if you pay $8 a month for
No,
it. So
no, I'm telling you, you can look. FUD's account is about to be suspended. You can see it.
what, you see the followers increasing like inorganically?
He's getting bot. So what they do is they spam you with bot, and this is important to know because if it happens to you, you should fix it. The first thing they do is Twitter is algorithm based. So you build acumen. The more followers you have, the more engagement you have, blah, blah, blah. It's all in an algorithm. So the first thing they do is they attack your personal algorithm by flooding you with bots, with fake followers. So that triggers to the Twitter algorithm that your account is a spam account. And then after that,
Listen,
then they
I
mass
like Bud, but the company
then they
you keep.
mass report after
Yeah,
your
but
what?
Go ahead,
but
Zintani.
Sorry, Zintani, go ahead. I apologize.
I know this because someone did it to Martin, and they were going to do it to me because I knew Martin as an attack, and so I doxed him. I don't know if I should say that out loud.
So
I found out who
they'll spend $1,000 for me to shut down my Twitter account, is what you're telling me.
no, but
it
Alex
costs
has
more the
gotten
more.
botted before, way worse. Like he had 30K followers.
No,
botted.
he went for fucking 18K and 40K in like 2 days,
Exactly.
and it was like a crazy bot attack. But yeah, I mean,
and
But
he
if
didn't
it
get
was
banned for
him
that.
but I'm saying
doing
at the end
it
of the day, no matter
himself,
what, no one really knows the official reason he got banned. Like, there's no statement.
No, but that's why I'm saying why
You
botting.
can
no one
see
knows.
it.
Him getting banned for botting doesn't make sense because
He
been.
could have been trying to sign in on 3 different phones and had Twitter Spaces running and got like. There's so many different reasons he could have got flagged.
There's so
he
many
could have been,
people that
or
have
he
been
could have been a piece
targeted
of
like
shit.
this.
Okay, hold on.
You guys know who OK Hotshot is, right?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold up. We can't digital, like, you can't. Let's just try to have this as. I don't think personal attacks on anybody is the way to have this conversation, and let's just keep it respectful. Let's not like insult anybody, so on and so forth. I think there is an objective conversation that we can have here. Now, to be 100% honest, I don't think that, like, if it was as simple as just like getting a bunch of, so like, what are you saying, Zintani? Like, you can just send a bunch of accounts to somebody's page and they will get banned? I don't think that's, maybe, is there more to it than that?
No.
They'll get
Yeah, because
suspended. They won't get
Twitter
banned.
Twitter actually does have a lot of protection against this. Like I said before, all other social media platforms, I'm pretty sure all the rest are easier to get you banned on than on Twitter. You have to pay for specific bots. Bots that don't flag the algorithm in a certain way, and that costs money. That's why the more acumen you have, the more money it costs. So whoever is taking down these accounts, they're putting money into taking them down.
But what do the
you can
bots
see
do?
it as it happens. They go into your account specifically to mess with that algorithm. So in the same way, Twitter has a lot of algorithms running. In the same way you got shadow banned, or like someone in here said they were tweeting GM too much and it triggered the algorithm in a way that got them shadow banned in a certain way. There's algorithms like that all over the place. So these are bots specifically that you have to pay money for, that
But what do these
target your
bots
account
do?
and hit your account. They hit they hit the Twitter algorithm in a way that makes your account look bad to the
No,
algorithm.
but what's the
And then,
difference? Like you said, there was two. Is there more than one kind of bot?
yeah, so on Instagram, for example, you can pay like I don't know if
No,
I should say this out loud.
I mean on Twitter, like just specifically on
I'm just
Twitter.
trying to understand
Wait.
what the bots
It's
do. Like,
on
Could
Twitter,
I
it's
ask you
harder.
something then?
On Twitter, it's harder to do it, so you have to pay money because you need specific bots. You can't just
No,
go onto
yeah, no, I
like
understand, but if you look at half the fucking projects on Solana and on ETH, like a good majority of those followers are botted. Same thing with a lot of people, right? And those
yeah,
accounts are
But those
banned.
are different
there's
bots.
different
That's
kinds of
followers.
bots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
you
That's
but
what I
can
was
pay
getting
for
at.
your own bots.
Right.
Those you can pay for your own bots to pose as followers to make your account look better. It's not going to hit the algorithm in the same way.
but what do these bots? Okay, this is just like in a simple TLDR. These bots that people are buying and sending to accounts, what do they do that makes the account get banned? You're saying they mess with the algorithm to flag it, right? But what does that mean?
If you want me to, I can ask my hacker friend to, cause like I only know like obviously
No,
what I
yo, what
say is
happened?
not
For
gonna
lack of a better
sound.
I
term,
think I
they're
can explain it.
intelligent. They're
Okay, we got one at a time, y'all.
Yeah,
One at a time.
Lee,
So
I think I could explain it. What happens is, from my understanding, is like they just get 10,000 followers overnight or whatever. It gets flagged, and Twitter automatically recognizes that, and there's like hard protocols that people know that they hit, and then the account gets suspended. But I'd never heard of an account getting banned from that way, but unless it's multiple
It's
times, but I don't know.
It's more nuanced than that on Twitter. So
Yeah.
it's a two-step process. First, you have to hit their account with the algorithm, and then you have to mass report. So there's two, and it can't just be any. It's a specific type of bot. I can ask my friend to come
I
in and
have to
explain
ask you
this
the
stuff, but
question.
he
Are
doesn't
you
usually come on social media.
Are
are
you a
you like
hacker?
yeah, are you like botting people's accounts?
No, I am not a hacker. I just have, well, I have white hat friends. If you want to get like, these aren't
Nah,
bad
Those aren't
you're
people.
a
hacking.
hacker.
It's just
Yeah, but
sending
I'm
bots.
Zintani, absent the entire bot conversation, aren't there clear and precise protocol requirements or discussions and disclaimers as to how you can get botted for hate speech, bullying, and other things? So I love
wait, sorry.
I love the mental gymnastics, right? Bots this, but aren't there other ways to get banned by Twitter from their TNC?
I agree with
Yeah,
Fidgeting
but
Bots
because if you can
yes,
see the
and
yes,
reason.
but
get you
yes,
suspended.
but you can see, but you can look on
Hey, Lee,
social. It's
checking
like
out.
very obvious. You can see, like right now, look at King Fud's account. He's getting targeted right now. In a couple days, if he doesn't run a script, like I told him, he needs to run a script to block all of these accounts immediately. If he doesn't, his account is going to be suspended. You can see it as it happens.
I
so
understand, but that doesn't decrease from the probability or the likelihood or potential that wasn't the reason why Shilling Villain got suspended permanently.
It's written on the reason hateful speech. I'm not saying like I haven't said my opinion yet, but it said the reason was hateful speech. The reason behind the ban, and not because of the botted account. You've seen so many accounts getting botted. You've seen Morgan. You've seen FUD. You've seen also Mario spaces sometimes are botted, and Elon Musk was there, and nothing has happened. And the reason is written. It's hateful speech. So
I feel like you
okay,
guys aren't listening to me.
all
Different
right.
bots do different things.
So
Yeah, but it says hate speech. That's what we've been trying
Right,
to tell you.
right. In the same, yeah, when this guy the only reason I know this is because this guy was coming after me and I got into his personal DMs to read this stuff. So I'm explaining to you. My Instagram was taken down for hate speech as well. I am not a hate speecher. But these different bots do different things to target people for different things. You can also pay for your own bots that if you're buying from the right company won't flag your account.
okay. Well, so we're going in circles here. I want to read the terms of service here because I mean, Zintani, if you have a friend who is an expert on this, I'd love to hear from them. If you want to bring, I mean, no pressure,
I'll
obviously.
message them. He usually doesn't come on social media because it's easier to get into people's stuff on here.
Well, we'll give him 0.1 soul or her, whoever it is. Okay, let me read these here.
Leap, just before you go, just a quick thing. I did some DD. I had my team do some research. And what they found out, apparently it was bots, but apparently the bots were saying "fuck Alex." So that's our hot take.
All right. Well, let me read this again. I have nothing against Alex. I don't think that his account should be banned. I think that even if he's saying stuff that people don't like, you can't just like ban an account for saying something that other people don't like. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was hate speeching, or as it was put before, it wasn't like he was like,
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
there was no racism or like sexism. As far as I know, like he was just basically criticizing other projects. And I don't think that's something that you should get banned for. If anything, sometimes you need somebody like that in the space to keep the balance. So
But
Bullying is the epitome of hate speech, dude.
no, I
He's a
think the
fucking
elephant in the
bully.
room a little bit is the Vahala relationship and like the hateful speech thing. That was a report getting filed. I don't think that like Twitter didn't. I don't think that was official reason from at least the screenshot I saw. But yeah, it's yeah.
all right, well, let me read this here. So says you may not engage in the targeted harassment of someone or incite other people to do so. We consider abusive behavior an attempt to harass, intimidate, or silence someone else's voice. So the rationale. On Twitter, you should feel safe expressing your unique point of view. We believe in freedom of expression and open dialogue, but this means little as an underlying philosophy if voices are silenced because people are afraid to speak up. In order to facilitate healthy dialogue on the platform and empower individuals to express diverse opinions and beliefs, we prohibit behavior that harasses or intimidates or is otherwise intended to shame or degrade others. Right? So that sentence right there is pretty important. It says, in addition to posing risks
to promote free
well,
speech, so we need to ban other speech.
well, let me just finish reading the whole thing. In addition to posing risks to other people's safety, abusive behavior may also lead to physical and emotional hardship for those affected. Uh, when this applies, some tweets may seem to be abusive when viewed in isolation, but may not be when viewed in the context of a larger conversation. When we review this type of content, it may not be clear whether it is intended to harass an individual or if it is part of a consensual conversation. To help our teams understand the context of a conversation, we may need to hear directly from the person being targeted to ensure that we have the information needed prior to taking any enforcement action. We will review and take action against reports of accounts targeting an individual or group of people with any of the following behavior within tweets or direct messages. For accounts engaging in abusive behavior on their profile, please refer to our abusive profile policy. For behavior targeting people based on their race, ethnicity, nationality, sexual orientation, and everything else, this may be in violation of our hateful conduct policy. So there's the abusive profile policy. There's also the hateful conduct policy. So there's two specific things here. And then it says violent threats. We prohibit content that makes violent threats against an identifiable target. Violent threats are declarative statements of intent to inflict injury that would result in serious and lasting bodily harm where an individual could die, e.g. or i.e. I will kill. I don't even want to say it because the fucking app will pick me up saying that, but I will KILLU. So we have a zero tolerance policy against. See, isn't that wild? That I'm afraid to even say a sentence
Yo,
that they
don't even
wrote on.
spell it, Leave. You're gonna get me shadow banned now or some shit now.
Like literally, I'm
Don't
afraid
even
to fucking say a word that they wrote on their website when covering their policy because I'm afraid to get shadow banned. This is dictatorship. This isn't fucking freedom of
Dude, I
speech.
think you're just a
wait. Yo, speak for
troller, bro.
yourself.
Yeah,
Speak for
I'll
yourself.
say
If
so
Elon, if
right
you're
now.
listening, I love Twitter. Do your thing.
No, I love Twitter too, but and I think Elon's gonna fix this stuff. I do. This is all from before Elon. So shout out Elon. Shout out Teslas. Okay.
Yeah, I think it all leads to open source algorithms. Honestly, like
No,
it
but
just needs transparency so
and
people could figure it out.
I also did some research. So on the 12th of November at 12 p.m. midnight, Shillin Villain's account was at 91K followers. At 1 a.m. on the 13th, he was at 105,000. So, or 6,000. So that's 15K followers in an hour. So yeah, he did get botted really hard. Like 15K in an hour is crazy. So I
Now
think that
something interesting here. It says, and I agree with you, Burden. he definitely did get botted. I think his followers did go up quite a bit. All that information's there. I mean, I doubt he would bought his own account. Like, it was definitely somebody doing it to him, because there's just like no reason to buy his own account.
You doubt?
So it says, this is actually really interesting. It says they have wishes of harm exceptions, right? So you can wish people harm if it's people that they also want to wish harm to. So listen to this. It says, we recognize that conversations regarding certain individuals credibly accused of severe violence may prompt outrage and associates wishes of harm. In these limited cases, we will request the user delete the tweet without any risk of account penalty. Examples are, but not limited to. So if you say, like, I wish all something will die.
Yeah, like, don't get it completed. Don't get us banned, bro.
I'm
No,
not
We,
going to
we
Jay
get
gotta be
Colombo
banned.
careful.
got
I'm
banned
not
for
going to.
that.
I'm
No,
not going to
my
get us
friend
banned.
got banned for that. He said something of that nature to the P ending in O.
Look,
Division of
everybody knows what the word is. Look,
individuals.
let me
Yeah.
just finish reading this. So, child blankers should be HANGED. So, like, these are things that if you say, you can say them, but they'll ask you to delete the tweet, but they won't remove it. So it's interesting how I mean, I agree with those two statements as well, but I just didn't know that was part of their terms of service. Also, oh, that's pretty wild. Wow, y'all should read. I'm not going to read everything here, but there is a lot here. There is a lot here. There's a lot of nuance to this as well. So I think out of the two,
You're building tech on this. This is the first time you've read the terms and services?
yes. Well, in terms of abusive policy apps, yeah, this is the first time I read it. So it says there's abusive profile policy and hateful conduct. What do we think it falls under? Let's go to the hateful conduct. Says you may not promote violence against or directly attack or threaten other people on the basis of. Okay, so this one is probably not it because I don't
But
think
Leap,
it's.
also, I think just important context is obviously the Valhalla project and like the back and forth in the discords or whatever. But I was listening to his spaces and I don't remember like anything specific of them crossing the line, but I could see how someone could maybe interpret some of that stuff as like potential threats of violence. Although I don't remember
Yeah,
anything
but wasn't that
specifically.
on Discord?
No, well they report that was like in the spaces when they were talking about it, like on stage. I'm saying like what they were
Wait, so what
describing.
happened? Can you just like, because I honestly don't keep. I know
So like
that
there's a
something
very
happened.
hype mint of a Halo on ETH, and I think it was going like they announced like a .5 mint price in ETH, which is pretty high for a bear market. So they were having a discussion along that they interpreted as FUD, I guess, and I could be mistaken, but someone from the Valhalla team made a meme about Bark and his like girl or whatever, like a picture. So I don't even know what they were saying, but they like posted that in the Discord, and then that made its way to Twitter, and it kind of started like a little war between the two projects, and then there was a guy in Valhalla saying that he was just going to keep reporting the account until it gets banned, and yeah, but I think it was pretty ugly on like both sides to a certain extent. That like it was kind of just seemed like aggressive, and I'm sure like if someone was listening, they could have interpreted some of the stuff as like, you know, maybe related to violence or something. But that's just a theory.
I mean, what was said that could have been interpreted as violence?
Well, it was I think the Bark, and if anyone on stage knows more, just wave your hand or something. But the picture of Bark, I think they said something like about something seeing them in person, and so that created the
Oh,
talk.
he
Like,
said he would like to see them at like NFT NYC or something like that. That's what he said.
Yeah, but that was on Discord, and someone else said that. So what
but
did that
no,
have
I'm
to
saying
do?
they brought that to Twitter though, and I don't know what they said in response to that. But if someone's like, "Oh, come see me in person," like I would say, "Okay, I'll see you in person. Like, let's do it." So is that like a threat of violence? I don't know. But
No, I
I'm
mean, I
not
think
saying like they said that at all. I don't think they did. They were pretty just like trying to get the team on stage, I think. I don't know.
Mm, well, I mean, I understand this Valhalla thing happened, but like, do you really think a project would just like go out of their way to like purposely get someone banned? I mean, they have tons of people flooding
I mean,
that.
the thing is though, is like the days before mint, it's like someone's funding your project, they're like almost an enemy in a sense if you think it's not like reasonable FUD, I guess. And Valhalla was super hype, and it's a .5 ETH mint, right? So there's definitely going to be like a lot of dedicated holders. If they got whitelist, they want to make sure it's like probably one of the best whitelists you could get, honestly. So yeah, I could see how people could get upset, and then they throw it in the Discord, and people are way more organized in Discord as far as like channels and shit go. So yeah, maybe they could have just ganged up in Discord together. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Well, if it's that easy to get people's account banned, then we're basically all living like on a wire right now. Like we're literally just like balancing on an edge of hoping not to piss people off. Then they can just get our accounts banned. Like a
I
lot of people here have money. If it cost even $10,000, like people will spend that any day of the week to
I
get somebody
think
banned.
I think the strategy is just to switch to private. Like as soon as anything sketchy happens, I don't know.
Mm. All right. Well, let's go to the hand here. Zintani, go ahead.
You have to switch to private and then immediately run a script that blocks anyone that's followed you with under 50 followers. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, but where do you get this script and how do you even run it? Like,
I was looking for one for FUD, but the one I have is so old that it doesn't work with the API. But surely I'm not sure. I stopped looking because they just memed me, and I was like, why am I spending 30 minutes helping them?
Wait, is that anyone under 50 followers or just in a
You
recent?
just do a filter to block anyone under 50 followers. If
Oh, that's not worth though. That's like that'll get rid of so many more who aren't boss. I mean, some of the richest and best devs
There's
I
other
know.
bots with 150 followers, by the way, and more.
Exactly, and not
yeah,
just that. Like some of the smartest people I know have like
All right, we don't need to get in the bot.
17
Like
followers.
you
we've
can.
already
I mean,
beat this horse to
yes,
death.
but I mean, what is the alternative? Like, you can either go through and find those people that you know, and make sure that you don't block them. You can also filter it so that if you're following them, it won't block them. So it's only people you're not following that are following you. You can add whatever you want to these filters, I'm sure.
Or you can not be in a position where people bot you like that by not being a dickhead.
People get botted all the time. It could
Phygital,
happen
I
to
don't know,
anyone
man.
in here.
If anyone's getting botted in this space, Phygital, I think you might be top on near the list.
Bring it.
So
look,
Phygital wants the bots.
no, he doesn't want the bots. Look, okay. This is God. This whole thing is fucked.
You run a daycare now, bro.
This
No,
whole thing.
I actually have a good idea. We all have to have a Solana PFP, and then we make an account on ETH, and then we have we have a backup. So if one gets botted, at least you could kind of hedge your bet a little bit. Maybe we should do that. I don't know.
This is horrible. Okay, we're gonna be releasing Twitter too. It's just like MTV too, but instead of playing music videos all day, we're just gonna have like shitty reality shows, and we'll just do it on Twitter. Look, Twitter.
So just like MTV too.
Fucking Twitter, man. Like why we went all in. We always say diversify. We're not diversifying our social currency at all. We're all in on this one app.
Why the
Like
fuck do you care? Why the fuck do you care that he was banned? By the way, I'd like to hear an actual functional answer.
Oh no,
the
this
biggest
is about censorship.
Yeah.
not
So
about
let me.
him.
So
Listen, I'm not here to listen to Omak. I'm here to listen to Leap. Why the fuck do you care?
I don't even know what that means. I care because
He means me.
The precedent is sent. The precedent is set. Like if I piss somebody off, like I'm a pretty visible person. I'm not that big or anything, but I'm pretty visible. And if I piss somebody off, they can just get my whole account banned. I have no other form of communication with anybody. Like I have Discord. That's it. There's no other social media that's associated with Leap. And if I just piss someone off or say something in spaces,
he pissed one person off, and that's what happened. No, he
but
pissed a
that's
bunch of people off for a long fucking time.
That's the scary part, though. Like that's the scary part. It's that if I just piss somebody off, one single person can just go rogue, and even if it costs $10,000 or $15,000, what is that? A mutant ape? Like that's a lot of money, of course, but not for people in the space. And there's many people that would want to silence people that get to a certain level of vocality. I mean, that's the honest truth. I take a lot of hard stances on certain things. I don't think I go after anybody specific. That's just not the type of content we make. But that being said, yeah, I think all big people should be worried if you can just get fucking banned with $10,000. That's nothing. That's literally nothing in the grand scheme of things. And people could even pitch in together to buy all the stuff needed to do this. So I would love to know a much more detailed, and I don't think it's going to happen right here, right now, but I would love to know a much more detailed reasoning of why these people are getting banned. With the youth situation, we knew that they were basically cross promoting the same brand off multiple accounts, and that's why they got banned. Now, also the timing of that was very peculiar. And I think there were probably corrupt people within Twitter. Like to just to say that there weren't, there's definitely corrupt individuals within Twitter that can just, like, think about it. We always hear this. Oh, well, if you're big and you know someone in Twitter, you can just get your account unsuspended. So what is this fucking privileged bullshit that if you know somebody in there, they can just like wipe the rules away for you? It works. It works in reverse as well.
But
Works in
isn't that
reverse.
life? Like everywhere you have corrupt people, everywhere you have people can outreach and bypass some steps. So I mean, it's in every company there is. It's the nature of people. You cannot change that.
Yeah,
I was going to say
I
too, it's the
also
world
think
that we live in already. Like this isn't something that is like we're hoping to correct. This is something that you've lived in every social platform you've ever been on. Again, I know on Twitch right now, there's people that have literally used racial terms in their stream, but because they have enough followers, they don't get banned for what it says on their site. They're supposed to be banned. There's people that have nudity on their stream. That should be a bannable offense for a certain amount of time according to their codes of conduct. And they don't get that. They don't serve that. The typical they serve is 1 to 3 days. It became a running meme within the community that unless you have the right follower account, you really have to make sure you're following the rules. But after that point, you're now too much of an asset for them to do that to you. Like that favoritism has always happened, and these kind of attacks, if that's what happened here. But to Fidgetal's point, he's also a target anyway, and makes himself a target, so it's kind of like a perfect storm. But um, that that kind of that's the world that we've lived in. So like you already have lived in it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's great to want to correct it. I'm all for that because it's a problem that I know I faced in Web 2 and content, and we face here. But I wouldn't like worry too much about it because legitimately it could have happened at any point, and like you probably said, it's already happening.
yeah, I think a simple way to think about it is like he did have he's number one influencer. He did have a huge reach, and when you have VCs putting $15 million into a project that's betting on a mint being successful, it's like there is a very strong financial incentive, even if the bots cost $10,000 to do it. For some people, if they're really motivated to do anything they can to protect the project, and you could see how a project wouldn't want Alex to be talking about it, which it sucks that that's kind of the level is not accepted of free speech in a sense, but it's also it could just kind of be a little too far sometimes and kind of
Y'all,
prevent the communication on the platform that it
I
actually
don't think it
wants.
was
Yeah.
Valhalla because the reason is like, okay, so let's think about this.
That was
Let's
not
say
like a specific, like I don't think that's what happened, but I'm just saying like that could have been a possibility that was like a previous, who knows, man, I don't know.
it just causes, because like just from like a strategic standpoint, like let's say I'm Valhalla and I'm like, okay, this guy's talking a bunch of shit about us, blah blah blah. If we ban him right now, all that would do is, and we are the most, like, and to be fair, I just finished watching Death Note recently, so maybe my mind's thinking this way. But literally, the most obvious like the most obvious reaction that would come after that, like the most obvious suspect would be like, who is the last person that he was beefing with, and it's this whole Project Valhalla. So it would make people. It would make people.
It could just be a huge bag holder too, right? Like it could just be
So
a
you
guy
think
that,
you're out right now, huh?
here's the biggest fucking thing that people forget, and this is as an attorney and having dealt with anti-slap actions and free speech things. The biggest thing that people forget is you have free speech, but so does the other person that you're free speeching against. So never forget that censorship is not about free speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but you're going to get the fucking same thing back. And they're both
I see where
protected.
Digital is coming from. Like, how many times have we heard that sentence on the space? You're so monotonic, Putin, and I don't know, parachuted. How many times have we seen? Like, I'm not saying I have anything personal against him, no, but this behavior could lead to multiple people on the course of time to report him, and maybe at some point it caught up the attention, multiple reports, and that's why at the end he was maybe removed. That's maybe what's Digital trying to point out. It's not
Well,
one
I mean,
person.
look, if he gets permanently removed, I think that's just bad for the app because like the precedent that it sets, like him or hate him, it has nothing to do with him
What fucking
specifically.
precedent?
The precedent is that you can be fucking removed if people don't like you, and that's not
No,
fair.
no. You can be removed from a private company if you are against what they're trying to do as a company.
Well, then fuck. Then that's not what. Then why are we building
Fidget
Web3?
was saying it's kind of like getting kicked out of a bar. It's like the bar,
Exactly.
even if you're doing respectful shit, if they want you out because they don't like the way you look, like technically they have the right as a private company to kick you out.
Yeah, but is that what we want from Twitter?
But
Who
it's
gives a
like
fuck?
not what we want.
It's
It's
not
what
your
Elon
company.
wants. Yeah.
It's not your company.
I don't
Well,
think that's
don't
what's
make
going
me
to
buy
happen
it
here,
because I
though.
will.
I don't think he's permanently gone. And also, Val posted or pinned a really good tweet kind of that relates to this that Elon posted. It's just looking like really, in terms of like negative hate tweets, that kind of stuff, they're really just looking to deboost and demonetize, as he said in the tweet, which is just meaning they're taking advertising dollars from it and trying to make it so you can't find it and you have to like seek it out. So like I don't think Alex is gone for anything like that, even though I do think reporting had a play in it. I don't think he's gone forever, and I don't think it's like, oh, he said this, so he's gone, and you can't say these things. I think it's actually the opposite. If you've been watching Twitter and watching Elon, he's basically letting people back on the platform that were banned that are very controversial in what they say, and this isn't even Web3, but very controversial in what they say. And it's literally just because freedom of speech, individual's point, freedom of speech works both ways. You don't have to like everything you hear. They get freedom of speech as well, though, and I'm for that. Like I'm actually like this whole thing with censorship that you brought up, this topic tonight. That's why I jumped in immediately when you went live. I'm a really kind of big fan of what Elon's kind of doing. Not obviously the broad strokes he's been taking, but the ultimate goal. Um, Coming from my background in advertising, I know the demonetization of that will go a long way, even though people aren't seeing that. But and I do agree that like I don't want these people back on the platform that I disagree with, but at the same time, I also don't want to be on a platform that gets regulated like that and takes people like that off, because that means people I agree with can be taken off as well because their freedom of speech is taken away.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Alex Jones, though. That's the only Alex I want to see brought back.
look. By the way, I am going to be rotating the stage as well. So if you do get rotated, just request back up. I'll bring you up in a couple minutes. Look, this is the thing. Like him or hate him, has nothing to do with this. Do I agree with like the content he was making, or did I like it? I mean, not particularly, but I also think it wasn't based on a like or hate thing. I don't think somebody should be able to be removed from a platform because they're saying things that other people don't like. That is not fair, and that is not free speech.
And a nice possible leap. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, that wasn't very nice at all.
Look, let me be nicer. If it's a business and if it's a company, you get to make whatever decisions you want. So let's assume there's two sides of the coin, right? One is that he was botted.
Except part of the reason Elon wanted to buy the platform was for free speech reasons. Seems like obviously you can do whatever he wants because he owns it, but that was part of the excuse me, that's part of the motivation of him buying the platform.
Yeah, and my hope is it wasn't because of bots. And considering the decisions he's made since he became owner that have been pretty precise and pretty precision oriented, my hope is that it wasn't a botted situation. My hope is that he thought that he was bad for business, because I think he's bad for business, and I hope that it was a concerted decision.
Now, I'll say this, and then we jump to the hands. Elon is very aware of NFT Twitter. Like he got in Mario's space. You know what I mean? So whether or not he's actively looking, I'm sure he has somebody around him that's part of this community. Crypto is a big thing. NFTs are big. Who tells him about? I mean, there's no way he didn't know about Alex. So if you do want to go down that rabbit hole, but I just like as an Elon
leap. You really think Elon knows
No.
about
I'm
Alex?
not saying he did. I'm not saying he did.
100%.
No.
100% he did.
Let me just get it out.
Let me just get it out.
Again, Elon is very aware of this stuff. That being said, with Elon being the type of person that he is and how he tweets and how he operates in a social media environment, I think that he wouldn't dislike what Alex is doing. I actually think he probably would think it was funny or just like good to have somebody that was calling stuff out. I mean, Elon literally trolls people in like borderline. I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, like I don't think Elon would personally have a problem with this, just based on like what we've seen from his behavior. That being said, I think there were rogue people that had access to the Twitter stuff that, in my opinion, have like fucked up the algorithm in the past 2 days. Like, isn't the timing a bit weird? Everyone's getting shadow banned. People are getting suspended. There's things trending on Twitter that Twitter's dying, that it's going out. Like all the employees left. The timing is too. It's too correct. Like the timing is way. This is way too coincidental to even be a coincidence. So, let's go with the hands. I want to go to Kuro and then Val. Kuro, go
So
ahead.
you're agreeing that he bought his own account?
No, I don't think he bought it his own account at all. There's no point. There's literally no point. He was
You just
already.
said you just said the timing. The timing would be thematic at least, and pandemic at best.
But why would that imply that he bought it his own account? I mean, you know that there's no reason to bought your account when you're the biggest person or the second biggest, however you want to
No,
put it.
the opposite. The opposite. He just got exposed on many, many levels for potentially being a scammer or involved in scams. You think that his account being deleted or permanently suspended at the same time that there was a plausible explanation, at the same time that he's involved in a paradigm back project that's
Wait,
launching
so
a project?
are you implying that this was like an escape mechanism?
It is the account, right?
Okay, now
He
we're
did
really
no,
getting.
no. He had music. He had music on his account every space that he pretended was another account, and now all of a sudden he's behind that account.
No,
Everybody,
we knew he was behind
everybody
music.
knew that was his account.
Yeah, we knew that was his alt.
Exactly. What a
Okay.
great
So
escape.
you're saying that he purposely got his account banned, and this is staged.
I'm not saying. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm saying it's far more likely that is the case than he got randomly botted a week or two after fucking Elon took over the project and decided what standards were new. What just like mathematics? Like,
Okay, hold on.
it doesn't make sense.
Digital, this
No,
isn't
we gotta
random.
go the
People
hands.
are getting botted all the time recently.
All right, let's go the
He
hands. Let's
got
go the
botted
hands.
all the time. Period.
All right, let's
And
go to the
now
hands.
his account gets suspended.
Let's go. Look, do I have to be Twitter and now silence everybody? Look, here's the thing. He was obviously being targeted. People were like, there was all this information being put out. He was being targeted. So why would he purposely, like, I understand what you're implying, but that just seems out of.
Because he was being targeted. What a better time to dip and repurpose.
I really do want to respect the hands, but we know he gets paid by that one company. Like this could be like a staged act. This is like super tinfoil hat. This could be a staged act because they know that their following, if there was any doubt in a lot of like the negative publicity, like this is a great way to like shift the news and shift the, I guess, like the news story where it's like, oh shit, like they're silencing Alex, and that could actually, it's very like Trumpy if you think about it.
Hold on. Now we're getting like everybody's been watching way too much Death Note. Everybody's been watching way too much.
I've never
Death
even
Note.
heard of it, Leap.
Well, you need to watch.
I said, listen, I just have tinfoil in my kitchen.
It's only one of the best animes that I've ever hit the scene. And I'm not going to let you drones sit up here and talk over each other and disrespect the absolute. I mean, the plot lines in Death Note was insane. So I'm not going to let you.
Well, I mean, Burden, it got a lot worse after L.
Dude, don't even spoil it for them. But it's insane. Okay, even the ending, I didn't think the ending.
Oh
was
yeah, hold on. Let's not spoil it.
But the plot twists were insane.
No, we can't. Okay, we can't spoil it. Look, yeah, go watch Death Note. It's a really good show. It's
this is amazing tonight.
It's only 37 episodes. Like, it's definitely worth watching. Seriously, it's about 14 hours long. Just watch it over the span of like a month, and you'll be good. So anyway, let's go the hands here. We gotta go to Kuro and then Val.
Just let me finish. Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Soze. So For those of you who haven't seen The Usual Suspects, this is recorded. I just fucked it for you. 2,
What?
Two, if somebody can actually gauge what happened with the network's social media and exposure and lay that over what's happened to Alex, I would be thoroughly appreciative.
Okay, let's go to the hands here. Kuro, go ahead.
Okay, so I had some questions, just what you guys think is a good idea. I thought it was a pretty good idea that he has that alt account, and he's not starting from zero again. Is that some like precaution we're going to need to take because of the censorship on Twitter?
I think that everybody should have a secondary account, to be quite honest with you. Like I'm probably going to make one soon and start diversifying into other platforms because, I mean, we talk about it financially. Don't go all in on one thing. And I'm thinking about it right now. I'm all in on Twitter. I don't have any other social media, so maybe I'll start an Instagram next. Yeah, actually, I'll make an Instagram tonight because I need to diversify. This is not okay. This is not okay. Like, again, like him or hate him, it has nothing to do with the topic. It has absolutely your personal feelings towards, because it's not just one individual. Look what happened with the Utes thing. They banned their accounts like the week leading up to the mint. If Utes were not goaded, if that team was not what they were, that could have easily destroyed a mint. You know what I mean? So this is so much more than just somebody losing one account. This is about the precedent that anybody can just get banned at any time without any transparency. Is there an email? Does anybody know? Is there an email that they send you? Is there?
Yeah, so this happened to me a couple weeks ago. I'll tell you who can help you next time. Yeah, I know it's super gatekeepery, but the person just doesn't want to get annoyed. But like my account from doing too many GMs. So apparently there's like a hard limit of 180 like tweets per day, and I like was trying to compete with Minister, and I failed obviously because that guy knew to stop right before the hard limit. I didn't, and I had to get a friend to get my account unsuspended because even if I used my phone number, anything I tried, it wouldn't unsuspend me. So we had to get help from a Twitter public relations person.
Well, if this space wasn't.
I just got a message from Twitter. I just posted up top. It defines why your account gets banned.
Digital. Oh my God, digital. Look, this is getting out of pocket. Look, just watch Death Note. You'll understand. Here's the thing. Let's jump to the hands. I want to go over to Val. Val, go ahead.
Hi, good night, everyone. Well, I particularly was very present during Alex's last spaces, especially with the music account, and I don't really think he was very interested in like really understanding what was the problem. Rose was in the space, and she had kind of access to know what's the tweet he did that made them get banned. He was really like genuine interested in knowing what the fuck happened. So I don't really think this is a marketing thing. And I do agree it is important to realize that the last banning like thing from Twitter was released in 2020. So it hasn't been like actualized, but not even by Elon. So I think he's just experimenting a lot, and we have to face the fact that he said it. Like, I'm experimenting with this platform, and like Fiji say, at the end it's just business for him. At the end he's just doing whatever he wants, and I do believe and I agree that a good content creator should be out of like in many spaces, because this thing can happen here on Instagram, on Discord, on every place. And I think it's just really dangerous put all your things just in one place, because these things gonna keep happening. Like, you know, it's just like it's like politics, economy. It works the same with social media. So I think, yeah, I think we should be really aware of what's been said, because we know the type of speech Alec does, and we also know that he has like tons of haters. It's just marketing. That's my opinion.
Well, this has pushed me to want to expand into other platforms. I'll just fucking say it here, to be honest. I'm gonna stream on Twitch tomorrow night. Gonna move off Twitter for the night.
Don't go on Twitch.
Why?
Dude, do OnlyFans, dude. Come on, you're
Oh,
better
You need to
than
go
that.
to YouTube. No, you in the real talk, you need to go to YouTube. You got it in comments before. Twitch. There's no reason to start on Twitch or even be on Twitch
No,
in
I have a
2022.
following there. I have a small following there. So
But even having a following, like the platform is one update away on the YouTube side to being out of business, and they know it. They
you
don't
can do
care.
both. You can do both. Like
YouTube.
Not you can if you're monetizing it. You
yeah, I
can't
mean, I could just
actually
remove
do
my affiliate.
even affiliated.
No, I can just remove my affiliation. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not about like the subs or anything. It's just about having like you want to have multiple platforms where your voice can be heard. That's what this is all about, y'all. Like it's straight up voices are the most I mean, it's the most powerful thing in the space. It's not an NFT. It's not fucking money. It's voices. And whoever has the loudest voice, that is very, very like you can't risk losing your voice. You cannot risk losing your voice. And it just it's this is not okay. I just don't think this is okay. I don't think that account should get banned for with like at least there should be an email that specifies why you get banned.
No problem. Everybody bought Leap's account.
All right. Well, that's just completely uncalled for. Okay, let's go to the hands here. Everybody needs to watch Death Note. Let's go over to Valsy, and then Zimmy.
So I've seen weird stuff, definitely, like when I've commented on Alex's stuff, where like literally it's like liked by him instantly. So I I'm not gonna like lie around that stuff, but it wasn't all the time. It was like maybe he could just been like because I've done the same thing where it just pops up and you press like, and yeah. But though how this plays out though, yeah, building on other platforms is great. I actually would suggest probably going to Rumble. If you like free speech, I guess that was like your whole idea. That platform is probably one of the faster growing ones. Also, it works like cryptocurrency in a sense, pays you out in a like whatever token thing, autonomous token thing on the platform as well. And so it's like Twitch bits almost. So that's another platform for you to look at as well. And you can monetize on that one and YouTube. I don't think there's any discourse between that from what I understand. As well, yeah, these as you get into like the digital area, like I've been in this like I've been around for a while. I got like 15 years just in different guilds of like 500 and plus, and like we're going like got people like pretty much playing psyops and one of the other guilds for like 2 years, and we pretty much liquidate them and stuff as well, and like make people quit the game kind of stuff. Like I've been in like these groups and I've seen these groups act like that, and it's just fascinating to me now because like Twitter, like you can actually monetize and make money off this. Where in these games, it was just like you're just playing the game. Yeah, a lot of people were selling gold on the backside. I actually knew everyone that was doing it. And so it gets interesting. Especially I used to do it in like Path of Exile. It was actually you used to be able to make some crazy money in Path of Exile in the beginning of seasons, and that was just like rushing through and getting to the end pretty much, and you just like farm whatever the chaos orbs, and yeah, it's just been interesting. Like my whole journey through this like crypto scene and stuff. I've been very lucky. I feel I haven't been hacked, scammed, or rug pulled ever yet. And so cross my fingers, knock on wood, like and yeah, you got to be smart with what you're doing. Like I build up my own Instagram too. I actually am like doxed on my Instagram. People just know me who I am. Probably going to be making one specifically actually just for my crypto stuff. And now they have subscriptions too on Instagram, so it's something to go over. Though only in the US, which is fucking stupid. So there is that as well, which is a kind of a piss off for me. But at least I can use the international Binance exchange, right? So it's I got my wins in other places and losses in other places. But you should be looking to Instagram definitely for the monetization if you're able to make a video content and you're not afraid to talk on camera. Like having just a face interaction on the camera is like really, really good. Just do reels. YouTube shorts are great. Rumble's got like great for long form content. I would say works a lot better there, 10 to 15, and then you can even do like 30 minutes as well. Yeah, that's all for now. I stay away from Facebook because too as well, because you can say fuck and you get like muted for like 2 weeks. It just is like the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. It's I'm like, what are we, a bunch of children here, or are we like adults? Like we can't say fuck, but the guy above me who I commented, he said the same thing and then doesn't get muted for 2 weeks. Like, what is this? And like that's why I just stopped. I was just like, I still have a Facebook, but I don't use it anymore. This is dumb. Like it's just I just stay in like the little groups, like the different crypto groups, but get market consensus of what people are thinking, and that's about it.
Appreciate you, Valsi. Yeah, I'll second that. I think it's really important to diversify. So this should be a wake up call for all of us. Zimmy, go ahead.
I had to jump back over to this slide. Yeah. So I think like with other content, like the problem there's no like strong like crypto Web3 community, so that completely shifts like your content strategy. And in my opinion, it's like education and onboarding, and then you kind of need like to create like a funnel where it's worthwhile to do so. I think that makes it a lot harder. And like to your point about like voice being heard, I feel like that's exactly what Twitter is trying to position themselves to be compared to everyone else. So it's just like interesting with everything that happened that we're having this conversation right now. But I wanted to go back to some of like the tinfoil hat, scenarios. Uh, like one, I think we mentioned like taking the heat off Alex, like throwing it back, saying, "Hey, you're gonna have to risk your account for this. You have your alt. You'll rebuild it and go from there." It could be that Alex, like they have, while they've exposed projects, like sometimes it's not the most fairest like floor. They know that, and also like times a lot of projects can't give them the most simple answers, and sometimes that's well deserved. But like maybe Valhalla just had a lot of resources, and it was just like one of those times where they kind of like barked up the wrong tree. And hopefully, I mean, again, like I've never had a problem with Alex. I know his persona and the character that he's created. Like he's getting paid to be that type of character at this point, and I know he worked around the clock to like build that account. Like regardless, he spent 12 to 15 hours a day, building that thing. So you never want to see like for the integrity of this platform long term. And it's all emotion aside. Like it's not about what you care about someone. It's like straight facts. Like if people simply disagree with someone and someone spent X amount of time building an account and then all of a sudden it gets permanently suspended, like that could happen to anyone here. And like that's something that needs to be addressed now.
I think the second part of what you said is really really the important thing. I think it's less of an Alex situation and more of just like a censorship and like what are we doing on Twitter here? And I think there should be a vocal movement from the community that the transparency needs to be disclosed. Like we need to know what the heck is going on here. And I think if everybody started tweeting on Twitter like we want transparency with this, then I think we would come a couple steps closer to getting there. I just don't know if everyone's going to do that. But I'll write a tweet. I'm going to write a tweet about it right now, actually, and put it up because I think it's important that we get this, because I'm not comfortable building on a platform that anybody can just get banned off if they piss somebody off. And it's
the fuck are you talking about?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Digital,
Yeah,
are you
Bobby,
off one
Digital.
tonight? Digital, what happened, Digital? What happened to you today, dude? Who the fuck? Did you lose a case? What happened?
No, my girlfriend's coming back in a little bit, so maybe I'm on one. But
Okay, test is high, all time highs. It's the only thing that's on all time high is Digital's testosterone. Everything else is down bad.
that's true. I'm wrestling with my dog, and he's got a Woody at the moment. But on a serious note, what the fuck are you talking about? That you're not comfortable being on a platform that you don't know the reason why he was banned, but therefore he was banned because obviously you don't want to be on that platform. Literally, so I love you guys. I love you, Leap. This is some of the stupidest shit I've heard in a very long time.
I would never take that. If he was talking to me like that, Leap, personally, me,
Burden, please don't add.
Look. To be honest, look, I'm heating up my pasta right now. It's important that I eat this and I digest it properly. Look, here's the thing. I think my point is pretty basic here, right? Uh, we're
No,
we're
dude,
building.
your analysis is basic. You don't like that somebody was deleted from the app because of, if not botting, directly or indirectly, they said things that people don't like or did things that people don't like. What the
Yeah, I think
fuck are you
that's. I
talking
think that.
about?
I think that's pretty correct. That's on point. Like, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think someone should get deleted from an app because they said things that people don't like. That is, I mean, that's fundamentally like. There's a difference. If someone's out there like hate speeching, saying like racist, homophobic, sexist things, like wishing death upon other people, get them the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Get them the fuck out of here. But if you're just saying things that people don't like because they're financially invested in projects and you get deleted for that and our entire livelihoods revolve around this
You just
bird
made a
app.
bunch of assumptions. You made an assumption that has to do with Valhalla. No, what if he's a piece of
No,
shit
no, no, I'm not
and
talking
he's a
about.
dick
I'm
and
not.
they made a
Look,
decision to
I'm
ban
not.
him?
I'm not talking about Valhalla specifically. I'm saying in general, what he does is he critiques and goes like he talks about projects and people have financial interest, whether it's Utes or this or
While
that. It's all
promoting his
about
own
projects
project.
specifically.
While promoting his own project that he's
He's
getting paid
allowed.
for.
He's allowed to promote his own project. That's the rule. Like we can't get mad at that. People are allowed to promote whatever they want to promote if it's disclosed. You know what I mean? So
First of all, he didn't disclose for a very long time.
okay, look,
For
this is not
90% of the time, he didn't disclose that he was getting paid. He didn't disclose that he was promoting a project.
okay, but
And then the project
regardless,
came out. Stop with the
that's
okay. Stop with
that's
the okay.
not
No.
against the terms of service, though. That's not against the terms
It
of
is not
service.
against the terms of service to kick somebody off for any fucking reason they want that it's a private company. Stop balancing between ethics, morality, and factuality. Pick a side.
Look, I'll balance wherever I want. I'm a gymnast. Look, here's the thing. Um, when it comes to this
Did you
stuff,
just say you're a
it
gymnast?
it
Yeah,
has to be
he's a Gemini. Leave him alone.
it has to be it has to be cut and paste. They cannot choose when to apply the rules and when not to apply the rules. He can
Yes,
promote what it's
they
against. Look,
can.
let me just get it out. There's like I got to eat this pasta or my brain's not going to work. Look, the thing is whether or not disclose or not disclose, again, this is less of an Alex thing and more so of like I'm worried about the app, the livelihood of the app in general, because a lot of people are going to say things that upset other people. And if you can just be, this is the equivalent of a social credit score, where like if you piss off the wrong people, they can just like wipe your existence. I'm telling you, go watch Death Note. It is all about this. It is literally all about this. It is exactly what this top. The timing is interesting too because I finished it after the space last night. The timing is it's so weird, and I don't think they should be able to pick and choose. I don't care if
What
it's a private
streaming service,
company.
by the way? What streaming service for Death Note? I'm gonna watch it right now.
You can
It's
watch
on
it on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, Crunchy. Dude, I'm even if you're not an anime watcher, like if you don't watch, this has nothing to do with that. This is all. It's actually banned in China. Death Note is literally banned in China because it's all about like a social credit score in a sense. You have to really think about it, but you eventually realize that's what it's about. So, like, it is. You cannot just delete people from the world, and the internet essentially is the world at this point. In our world, in our Web3 world, or other industries, this is the world, and you can't just delete people because they say things you don't like. That is not okay. That's like straight up not okay. And again, I'm not even like a fan. It's not about being a fan or enjoying the content or not. Eventually, I am going to say something that pisses a project off. Right? That's just the natural progression of things. I'm going to criticize something, I'm going to critique something, and it's going to piss people off that have a financial interest in whatever I'm talking about. This is going to happen. And if
Yeah,
I
but
can just
where's the line, Leap? Where's the line?
the line should be if you are doing hate speech and wishing violence or death upon people, or if you're doing racist, sexist, or homophobic content, that is the line. The line
So,
is in this.
you don't
Leap,
understand the
I've literally
fundamental. There's
Leap. I've
private and public legal definitions for that. You are correct. Those are public parameters. You are confusing fundamentally what is appreciated, approved, and restricted in a public setting. based on government and hundreds of years of case law. You are forgetting that this is a private fucking company. And even if it was a publicly traded company, the only difference would be that they have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders, which even more so would probably lead to banning the toxicity that is Alex. They can do whatever they want, and your opinion is grounded in the wrong position. Twitter is not a Web3 project. It is not decentralized. It is not on the ideas of what Web3 is built on. It's a private company or a publicly traded company. A, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And B, more importantly, stop turning it into this utopian ideology.
Phygital, it's easy to say that until it applies to you. What if they just delete you off the app?
I'll go back to my regular life, and I'll hang out my restaurants, and I'll hang out with my friends, and I'll do everything else I'm doing anyway.
No, you would be sad. You would be sad if you got deleted off of Web3, off of Twitter.
But Leap, it does apply to everyone everywhere online.
No, but
like,
no, but it does, right?
Twitter's not Web3.
No, but it does.
Listen,
yeah,
here's
and
the
Twitter's
thing.
not Web3 though.
I understand. Hold on. I understand it's not Web3, but I'm saying what Phygital is doing within Twitter is within the Web3 sphere. And if he got deleted off Twitter, he would essentially be deleted off the Web3 culture. That's what would happen.
No.
And guess what? I have no other social media, so I wouldn't give a fuck.
It's not even about that, though. Like, Phygital, when I was hosting spaces a year ago, you were in my spaces, right? Like, we've been in there. We were talking back in the day about the same exact stuff that we're talking about now. Nothing's changed, right? People were getting hacked back then, and people were getting botted. The whole point we always said is Twitter is not your home. A lot of us have made ourselves very comfortable in a fucking war zone. This is not our home. You can get sniped any day you want. So why do we all of a sudden think that this is our home? We don't own our username. They do, right? And this is why we say Web3 is the future. We don't own our content. They do, right? And so the point is, you always have to have your website. You always have to have your own thing. Not even going in the emo days, fucking Pete Wentz knew this shit before everyone. This motherfucker was killing it on Instagram, right? And he said, fuck Instagram. He started making a daily blog. He had 2 million people reading his blog every day. He monetized that to the fucking moon before YouTube, before anyone. And the reason he did that is because he realized Instagram was not his home. Social media is not your home. You don't own it. They do, right? So whatever you do here, Leap, bring that to your own space. And you talked about this a couple months ago. Hey, I want to build my own social thing. I want to build something. Let's do this. Let's build something. This is your key right now to tell you to just build it yourself. You know, and for me, not shilling, my website will be out in a month. I haven't even talked about shit because I need that backing. I understand that there are so many haters that even if you do your best and you do everything you can, you need that outlet where people can find you when you are buried. If Twitter goes down tomorrow, Web3 is not dead. You know, we'll go back to the same things we did before this. We were in Clubhouse before this. We were everywhere we could talk. So all I'm saying is, like, we're very comfortable right now, and we shouldn't be. This was never our home.
Okay, but the amount of people that are just defending the fact that you can just, like, I understand that this is a company that is owned, but he literally came out and said that he bought this because he wanted to keep free speech like a thing. Like, so, like, how are we defending the fact that this is happening? And it's very easy to say this until it happens to you. That's the thing. What I think a lot of people don't understand.
No, what I'm trying to say is when I said the line, right? When I said the line, like, what if Shillin Villain is getting banned? Why is SBF here? Why are people who are? I've literally watched someone say something racist on a Twitter space, and they're still on Twitter. So, like, where's the line? Like, you said hate speech. I've watched hate speech happen live on a recorded space. I was on the stage. I watched it happen, and they're still on Twitter. So where's
you can actually report
each
that
individual
burden?
Yeah, each individual
Hate
case
speech is
different.
free speech.
Not really, though.
I mean, it is by law in every definition of.
Yeah, but not by platform. Not by
Look at the tweet.
platform.
Look at the thread right above. I want you to actually look at Alex's responses to people. He's playing y'all. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. He's playing y'all.
I mean, and like I said, I'm not even defending it. It's just a case of what we've been in forever. And like I was talking about earlier, and like you were alluding to, Leap, you can't rely on just one core platform or app for anything if you're trying to build a community or a brand or whatever you want to call it. Like, get your message out there, your content out there. You need to be across multiple. That's why in Web 2, it's not just, hey, I'm only on Twitch. It's, no, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and then, they might have a TikTok. Like, that came up, obviously. And then, for a time, people were trying to do other platforms. You said you wanted to do multiple platforms, and you definitely can do that as long as you don't get into the trap of becoming an affiliate like on Twitch or locked in somewhere else. You can actually use a platform called Restream. They've been around forever, and you can stream to multiple platforms at once and combine all the chats. And you can do that within their laws as long as you're not like an affiliate or whatever, because then it can be streamed everywhere. But yeah, you need to think about that, because the classic saying I always like to think is, you should be about your community and use whatever tool is best for them, not be about the tool and then bring your community to it.
Okay, so let's go to the hands here again. I gotta rotate some people to bring more people on stage. Just request back up if you want to come back up. Let's go to Zintani here, and Zintani, go ahead.
Sorry.
Zintani.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I get what you're saying, Leap, but I would urge you to take a step back, because it's not a simple solution to solve, and Twitter is already doing a better job than other platforms. So if what you're worried about is like people being able to bot spam you and take you down, Twitter's actually the most protection of the other social media platforms. If you get rid of moderation or automated moderation entirely, then other problems form, and like the bots become worse. My dog is crazy. She's losing her mind. She's a psycho. She's sicko. She's crazy, uncontrollable. She's a wild animal. Sorry. But what was I saying? I forgot what else I was gonna say.
You were talking about automated like bots and stuff.
Oh yeah. So Twitter is already they're already I mean, unless you have a solution, because I certainly don't know how to fix this problem. And it's also a bit different, right? Because if you look at how at bots in general, bots are a bigger problem on Twitter because we're a social media platform that focuses on words, right? So there's a lot of opportunity for different kinds of bot. I have to stop talking. I have to take care of my dog. Sorry.
No, you're fine. All right, let's go over to Banks, and then we'll go to Make. Banks, go ahead.
Yo, sorry, I'm like moving rooms, so I don't like wake up. Censorship, but I definitely see yours 100%. Like at the end of the day, like Digital, you're right. Like this isn't our platform. Like they can do exactly whatever they want. But it is kind of annoying that like you can't do anything in this space. Like it goes back to like people not liking exactly what you say. So when Leap was talking about not standing for like we're standing for like not people saying anything like racist or anything like that. Like obviously we're all for that. Like nobody wants to hear that shit in this space because it's just there's no need for it. But just the fact that people want to take down somebody just for not liking them when they're not inherently causing any harm or any damage, like emotionally or anything like that, then that's when it becomes a problem. And like Fidgetal,
Thanks, dude. Do you know how many DMs I've gotten from people who are like, "Can you hack Alex's account? I wanna bot his wallets." No, he hurt people, dude.
yeah,
He
but
hurt people.
he hurt financially. That's a different thing. But
No,
like,
mentally, he hurt people.
well, but then that also comes back to like having better self control because words only have power if you give it power. If you're getting your feeling
Nicely, Banks, we can't protect everybody from being emotionally solvent and emotionally responsible.
but
So
that's
no,
also not our problem.
no,
Like at
exactly,
all.
exactly. You know what else isn't our problem?
I mean, are you going to say Alex?
No, Elon decided that Alex wasn't a good decision to have on the platform. Period.
But it's not even just about Alex. It's
Okay, hold on. Okay, everyone's just speculating here. What are we doing? Like nobody knows that Elon just decided. You think Elon has time for some fucking crypto lizard? Like no, dude. The motherfucker's out here trying to elevate fucking humanity. He's trying to figure out how to fucking get on Mars. He doesn't give a shit about a crypto Twitter host. Are you kidding me? He doesn't have the time of day for that shit. It was probably some misunderstanding or something. And if he doesn't, I mean, he has the connections to get to Twitter. And if it is a fluke or something did go wrong, they'll give it back to him. If it's real, he'll stay suspended. That's all it. That's what it is. Okay, and you guys
Burden,
are.
I love you, but shut the fuck up. He actually went to a Mario space that had 10,000 people. He is acutely aware of the aggregated attention that is being decided in Twitter Spaces.
Doesn't
Period.
Mario have connections with somebody though? I think that's
Yeah,
what I.
but he's
No,
not gonna.
no.
He's
Well,
not
that's what I
gonna go
heard.
out of his way to like that. Why would that concern him? You have someone on Twitter who is keeping people on
Have you
Twitter.
studied Elon Musk? Have you read his biography? Have you watched every single thing about him? He is a detail-oriented motherfucker. He's not a fucking rocket scientist. He built the biggest fucking boon to the defense industry that's ever existed. He created payment channels. You think he's not having people that are relaying information to him that identify the largest spaces in each silo of Twitter ecosystems? You out of your mind?
Look,
I definitely agree
I
with
think
that.
okay. We got to go to the hands here. I think it's really like much more simple than what people think. I think that the majority of people quit Twitter. They don't have people working there. Maybe a rogue employee messed with the algorithms and made it easier for people to get banned and shadow banned. Like our space is being throttled. My fucking content's. It's not just like Alex. It's all of us are like at the whim of a fucking algorithm right now. We're literally at the whim of an algorithm. Like, there's no reason for my content to get fucking throttled. There's no reason for people to get banned off saying things that other people don't like. This is just not.
Don't compare somebody getting
Dude,
banned
do you
to.
motherfuckers think we're in the Matrix? Like we're not in the Matrix. This is like real life. I don't get what you guys are saying. Like he probably got banned for like
Debatable, Burden. Debatable.
All right, hold on. Let's go to the hands. Let's just go.
Burden, how many businesses have you built?
Fidget, I don't know
what does
what
that
the
have
heck.
to? What the fuck does that have to do
Burden,
with?
just
How
answer the
many?
question. This is free
How many
speech.
girls
How
have
many
you been?
businesses
Like
have you built?
what are these questions? What?
All right, hold on. Time out. But everybody just. This has nothing. That's so far out of left field. That has nothing.
No, it's not. Dude, it's not. This is business acumen. This is human experience acumen. And Burden actually brings up a great point. It also is a relationship acumen. Burden, how many girls have you dated?
Okay, Burden, don't answer that question. Look, I'm going to just make it very simple for everybody here. We have people that are rugging off stage for no reason and then immediately requesting backup. These apps are barely running by the brim of their top hat, okay, or whatever
that analogy.
or whatever the fuck they're saying. Look, so that's kind of the thing here. So let's jump over to Make. I just think that the app is just like there was a rogue employee. They messed with the algorithm. That makes sense. If everybody just left, like if 95% of people get fired in day one, you don't think there's someone there that's just like, fuck this shit.
This is literally 1932 Germany. Sympathizer, brother.
Hey.
I think that is a massive, massive stretch to say that that I'm a 1932 Germany sympathizer. Like, I don't even think that's within the same fucking ballpark. Look, let's go to the hands. Let's go over to Make. You did have your hand up if you want to throw something in.
I do. Good evening. Do you have me? Can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah.
Good to see you, my post-merge family, and our guy Leap. Appreciate you. Jesus Christmas trees, what a month, family. Like, just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, here we are. There's no question that they're running on a skeleton crew, and most likely they have moderators who turn down assets. And when they can't show up to work, they can't turn down the moderation of the bots. So that's definitely happening. I mean, they lock Twitter stores. Regardless, one thing that nobody likes is slander. I'm not going to say, but I watched a lot of things happen during that experience. I unfriended and unfollowed a lot of people because it was real borderline. So slander's a thing. Pacquiao down there, who's an elephant, very nice guy. He's 100% right. Restream is brilliant. We actually streamed recently into 16 different places at once, and you have a right, and we will be with you no matter where you go, my guy. But we can put you anywhere, and I would love to help. And free 99 because we'll keep you wired up, my friend. This is less about what's going on and more about what's going on with the big boys. And right now, all the big boys are losing their collective minds, and it's rattling us to accusations. Let's keep fucking building, folks. We're sitting here not to get in. If this shit goes down, we're gonna find a way to wire up Leap. Leap, you could come hang out in my penthouse, and I'll stream you to 16 other places. That's a fucking swear to God promise. Let's fucking build. Get over this FUD because we might be shut down anyway. So let's fucking go. Get over this bullshit.
Is that a
People do
real life
offer.
penthouse or a metaverse
I
penthouse?
have
I
a
just want some
VR
clarification.
penthouse. I got a penthouse you could go to mobile. We've got 3 or 4 different spaces on different platforms
You got a
also.
streamer house. I like it. A content house.
We do. And in
for
fact, we
Web3.
streamed into 16 metaverses at once, and on Twitter and on Twitch and everywhere you could post a video, it was streaming live, and we could even communicate with each other. So it doesn't fucking matter. What we're here to do is build, folks. And I know the ones in here sitting up at the top to the bottom are builders. We don't have time for this shit. Let's grow. Right now, risk analysis is fucked because nobody is there toning down the risk. I have
Yeah,
love that you were
digital
3
here.
or 4
risk
times recently.
analysis.
No, you don't have moderators. They're gone. The doors are locked. Most people quit. Let's just deal with the reality that when bots are controlling the world, they're going to censor everything and take everything at 100%. Whether he deserves it, whether he doesn't, whether Frank did, whatever the fuck. That's not what we're here left to do on a Friday night, people. Let's fucking go. We're builders. Let's build. I appreciate you all, but I know y'all. Let's go.
I think the problem is that Fidgetal's a molecule. I think that's the problem we have.
That's the weirdest insult I've ever heard in my entire life. Meg, I
Bourbon,
appreciate you.
You're a protozoa.
Okay.
Yo, remember Protozoa from Xenon? Yo,
I
that's fucking funny.
appreciate you, Leap.
But Fidgetal actually.
Zoom.
This is completely out of. I didn't even. Burden read my mind on that one. Look, Meg, I appreciate you. I think this is important. I don't like. The reason that I cannot work for other people is I just I hate when I feel like my voice isn't heard. It's like my biggest pet. Like it just bothers me on a deep level, and that's always been why I wanted to just create my own stuff and always have my own businesses and so on and so forth. And this is just not okay. And I think that a lot of people are happy about this because they didn't like Alex. And while I understand that perspective, this isn't an Alex situation. This is hey, we're basically messing with a social credit score at this point where we can just be silenced and removed from the fucking ecosystem because we said something that other people don't like. That's not even close to okay. And the truth of the matter is if that's the way that things are going to run, we have a much bigger problem than what we saw before. Now, I think Alex will get his account back. That's just truly what I believe. I think in the end, this will probably be a positive for him because it just ends up as a marketing promotion thing, so on and so forth. I think he'll get his account back. I think everything will go back to normal. But if he doesn't, then we really need to reconsider the way that we're operating on an individual level and as an ecosystem, because building all of this ecosystem, we're building everything here on Twitter. And that just, it's scaring me in a way that I don't know if I can put to words. So let's jump to the hands here. Make, I appreciate you. Let's go over to Pop. Pop, go ahead.
Hey, so yeah, I just wanted to say that I agree with Digital. There's a difference between the way things should be and the way things are. And yesterday I was here talking about how people were getting banned for doing comedy the wrong way or parody the wrong way, or he didn't like the parody. And at that point, everyone was, oh no, it's fine. There's consequences to your actions. There's blah, blah, blah. like free speech doesn't count on a private entity. But when it's something that affects this space directly, then everybody seems to be more concerned. I think that it sets a precedent. If it happens to somebody else, even if you agree with it, it's going to extend to people you care about. And it's just like at the same time, I don't think anything's really going to happen. Like it, he probably violated the terms of service several times. I mean, targeted harassment isn't allowed, and I think he did that a few times. And at the scale, people were saying, "Oh, I heard someone being racist on Spaces." Like, you can report it, but at the same time, it doesn't happen at the scale that Alex was. Like, he's first, if not second or first, on NFT Inspector, whatever. I don't know, but he's one of the, if not the largest voices on Twitter, and like he makes so many enemies. I think it was just like bound to happen, and I'm sure he'll get his account back.
That's a beautiful point, by the way. You think magically the number 1 and number 2 on NFT Inspect got banned? Oh no, he doesn't. Elon doesn't have time for that. Are you out of your mind?
He's like always on Twitter too. I don't know if you see how much he like replies to people and posts memes. Like this is his life.
Thanks, Pup. Patchnok, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say this and I'll jump down. It's been a great talk, though. Thanks for having me up. Make it's really cool to have someone that's actually used Restream and, not just say it by example. So the power of it is really, really cool when you dot your T's and cross your I's and don't give any of the platforms an excuse to come after you. It's really powerful in the reach. But yeah, I really think the whole thing here, it's not about Alex, and I definitely think he's going to come back. Honestly, it doesn't shock me. Like when I came on tonight, like I said, I don't know all the details about it, and I've been looking while we've been listening. But you know, to Pup's point, yeah, there's cases all the time of people being reported, stuff like that. But usually, it's not coming in at the rate that it would be for someone in the spotlight like that, whether it be positive or negative. So whether it was a coordinated effort or whatever, he already had a lot of traffic in terms of being reported. But like I said earlier, and I'm glad Make also alluded to it as well, Twitter's going through a lot of changes in the back end, so they're very short staffed. I can tell you from managing systems, stuff like that. Like I know Burden earlier, you said, "Oh, my friend never heard from Twitter." You're not going to hear from a service like Twitter. The overhead that it would take and the amount of money it would take for them to pay a staff to answer you would be astronomical and insane. It's just not feasible. So that's why on services like a Facebook, a Twitter, all of these, you're dealing with an automated response unless you pass a certain criteria that says, okay, this person now needs to talk to someone even for a second. But favoritism, it's on all of these platforms, all of these rules and these ways that you can be taken down, whether it is malicious by bots. Like I said, that's been in all of these social ecosystems and all of these content platforms forever. It's not going to go away. There's always a way to get around this. And again, I'm not saying that's why it was here, but just really not depending on one platform, understanding that, yeah, Twitter, if you're going just the Web3 route, yeah, Twitter's the thing right now, and Discord, those are the things right now. But a year from now, it could be laughable that you're using them. Like, oh, why are you using that? Why aren't you using this? Like, there could literally be a new drop. It can happen that quick. A lot of people, a lot of my friends, years ago left Twitch, left contracts to go to Mixer, which was run by Microsoft at the time. Over the course of a few days, they shut down. They went from being one of the 3 premier content platforms to a back end comment coming out about how their head of the creators viewed creators on the platform, which I'm not even going to repeat. It was not taken well. And over the course of a few days after that, Microsoft cleaned their hands of it and said, screw this, and completely shut Mixer down. Ninja had a $10 million contract with them that he still needed to be paid out on. Twitch completely pulled out the rug from Dr. Disrespect a few weeks after they just paid a couple of million on doing an ad to show that he was signed with them. Like, never give any of these platforms the leeway to pull the rug out from underneath you. Always make sure that you're servicing your community. But Leap, you do a great job with that. And again, thank you everyone for having me up here. It's been an incredible time hanging out. I'm going to drop down to listener, but yeah, just been great to chat.
Appreciate you, Patchnock. Yeah, I mean, the doctor disrespect situation was weird as well. And then you have, even as of recently, Steve Will Do It on YouTube, who has a massive, well, did have a massive YouTube channel. He got banned for the editor accidentally leaving, I think, the URL to stake dot whatever in the video, and it's just it's bizarre how they can pick and choose, because they allow people to promote gambling, they allow people to stream gambling, but if you show the URL, they can just delete your entire Twitter account or your YouTube account. So it's like, this isn't just happening to a couple people. This is a plague that exists within centralized social media and content creation platforms, and there literally is only one solution to it, and we already know what it is. I don't know why the fuck we're not doing it. And there's, yeah, of course, there's things like Rumble, so on and so forth, but we really need a decentralized, like, it. Look, you can have messaging from wallet to wallet, right? So it shouldn't be that much more difficult to build a decentralized Twitter. And if you can have a decentralized Bitcoin and just build it so that it runs on its own, why couldn't you just do that with a platform? I understand that there needs servers and so on and so forth. There's way for it to generate revenue on its own. There's always ways. So I think, but I also think there's probably a lot of people working on this, and we'll see it in the next year. We're just not going to see it right now. But I do think this is going to spur a lot of people to move towards anti-censorship platforms. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm absolutely wrong. Maybe Alex's account gets reinstated and everyone forgets about this until the next big person gets banned, and then we start talking about it again. Maybe we're part of the problem, right? So we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens with this. Again, I think he will get his account reinstated. There's no way they're just gonna permaban it. I would be genuinely surprised. I mean, they finally banned Andrew Tate after so long. I know he just got reinstated as well, but it took a lot for him.
You'd like the platform to misrepresent if someone's permanently banned?
What does that
you
mean?
like them to lie to us? They
Lie
said
about-
permanently. They said permanently suspended, right?
I didn't see that when I went to his profile. I know it said that.
No, you can look it up. It says permanently suspended. Google it right now.
Yeah, but
Search
they can
it
be
right now.
they can be
He
overturned.
is right. Permanently suspended is the.
So
Look,
you
y'all,
prefer
Utes
you
was
prefer them to
permanently
lie.
suspended, but they got it overruled.
You prefer them to lie then. So it's not permanently suspended, or it is permanently suspended.
I'm sure it's permanently suspended right now. I don't think that's a lie, but I think going off the logic that this is a private platform and they can do whatever they want without giving reasoning, yeah, they could reinstate it. So here's the thing. Like, when it comes to all of this stuff, I forgot what I was going to say. That doesn't happen
Because I
often.
just cocked you in a motherfucking hole.
What do you
motherfucker.
mean?
Hold on,
Okay,
you were going
hold on.
the decentralized route.
Definitely not talk me into a hole, because here's the thing.
I just literally talked you into a hole.
No,
You're literally
you said,
saying that
look, let me get it out.
space-
Let me get it out. The thing is, you said that this is a private platform. They can do whatever the fuck they want, and they don't need to give the reasoning. So whether or not the application says permanently banned does not mean anything if they can just do whatever they want and reinstate it. Now, that's the thing we're dealing with here. Look, this is honest truth, y'all. People don't want to believe this, but this is what it is. The majority of their employees left. They have nobody working there. Maybe this is something that would have been overruled before it actually went into effect if their people were there. This maybe would have gotten flagged and got to the point where it would have been manually reviewed. And because nobody's there, it didn't. This is like a very simple solution. Like, because what the timing is so peculiar that he gets banned a day after this Twitter shit happens and everybody leaves. This is the perfect time for a bot attack. This is the perfect time for somebody to go and attack somebody's account, because they know it won't get they know it won't get manually reviewed, and it can get just immediately banned. This is like this is the fucking basics. Like, look at what's there. Look at what's there.
Wait,
this is the perfect time.
But I thought it happens all the time. And Tony was telling me that it happens all the time. That people get bought in these accounts happen all the time.
All right, name one other besides the Utes.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Twitter isn't down like this all the time.
Down like what? What the fuck do you know? You read a Google response.
What do you?
Okay,
What do I know?
Look,
there's nobody working there. You drone.
Look, yeah, you drone.
There's nobody working there.
Look, there's nobody working there.
No, let's pause. So the man that owned energy that created a fucking fire extinguisher that came with a flamethrower that now sells for 10 to 15 to 20x. The guy that owns transportation, completely revolutionized electric driving, owns the biggest private satellite company, also revolutionized the defense energy system that created the first spaceships.
Yes, that guy, Digital. Yes, that guy.
Look, see now Burden's using his power of censorship right now. Look, I honestly think that his account's going to come back. I just do. I honestly, I really, really do. I think that it's a very simple thing of just there weren't people there. This is the perfect time for a bot attack. I bet you could get any fucking account banned right now without people manually reviewing it once it gets to that point. Like he is not a small
tempt me.
account. You said what?
I said don't tempt me. Although I'll start with Burden before you.
This is ridiculous.
Are you trying to threaten me with a good time?
You go report him. Report him. This is a threat of personal harm against my identity. Look, okay, let's go the hands here. Let's go the hands. I really do think that all the facts are there, and it's a pretty basic thing to understand. But if we want to put our tinfoil hats on and say that this was because Elon fucking Musk was shooting his flamethrower and looking at his Twitter at the same time and was in Mario's space and then found Alex's account and was like, you know what? Look, here's the thing. We're gonna ban Alex because he is too much. He's doing too much satire. If you think that Elon made a personal decision to ban Alex because he thought he was bad for business, when Alex undoubtedly brought many people to the platform in a more active way, maybe he wasn't bringing people over from fucking Rumble, but they were taking people that were on the platform and making them much more active and engaged by going to multiple Twitter spaces per day and commenting, retweeting many, many tweets. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't think Elon personally made this decision. Again, I think this is much more than an Alex issue. He's getting a lot of free promotion here right now. So maybe this was all part of the master plan. Zintani, go ahead.
This does happen. I didn't say it. If I did say it happens often, I shouldn't have said that. And the reason it doesn't happen often is because, as I said, the higher profile the account is, the more money it takes to take it down. This is not the same for other social media platforms. Any mediocre script kiddie can get any account taken down. From most the other social media platforms, it's way easier. But for Twitter, it does cost money. I've said this maybe 10 times. Also, I don't think it's a coincidence that the way that you take down these accounts, it follows if you look at Alex's account and if you look at King Fudd's account, surely, if he doesn't listen to me and doesn't run the script, his account, I guarantee you, is going to be suspended as well. You can look and see it. There's a process to taking down these accounts on Twitter. If I also, if Twitter does unsuspend him, I bet it will be for a while because there's a lot going on right now. They don't have time.
So we taking down Zintani's account next. What are we doing? Let's see a show of hands. Thumbs up if we're going.
I'm telling you guys how to fix it. If someone does this, I will run a script.
Oh my God! Someone prove her wrong. No, I'm joking.
All right, I'm kidding, Zintani. We'll take down Burden instead. Thumbs up. Are we taking down Burden's account? Thumbs up if we're taking down Burden. Thumbs down.
I'll take a screenshot. Do it.
To be fair, Burden's will be cheaper to take down than mine.
Damn, that's savage. Okay, well maybe we'll go after
real
Phygital.
or fake?
We'll go after Phygital and Burden. Okay, let's go to the hands here. Let's go to the hands. Banks, please.
Sorry, I was messaging Bark. So
messaging Bark, really? Can you get him in there? Because that bitch needs to have some questions answered.
Phygital.
But Phygital,
stop.
What the fuck, dude? You think you're some type of god?
You cannot call people that. That's just not okay. It's just not okay. We can have this.
He's about to say this is freedom of speech. Leap. I thought this was freedom of speech.
No, this is a dictatorship. This is a dictator's potato ship. Okay, like this is like Bird and I are the dictators of this right now, and our rule is that we cannot insult anybody like that. No personal insults. No low hanging fruit. Like You can criticize what people are doing all you want, but you cannot just call them the B word. That's just not okay. So let's not have that.
B word, bro. You're actually a wounded gazelle.
Does he look like a bitch though?
All right,
Bad
guys.
Brothers, like what?
He does look like a bitch.
No, how? Okay,
I don't
time.
know.
No. Time out. I'm shutting this down right now. It's not acceptable. Anybody who does it again, regardless if you're my friend or not, you will get removed. We're not going to be calling people the B word. We're not going to be doing that. It's completely irrelevant to the conversation. Completely irrelevant. It has nothing to do. You must remove all personal bias from this conversation to have it. Again, what happened. It is what it is. But to move forward and have this conversation in a constructive manner, we need to be respectful. There's no point in doing that. And if we can't, we will talk about FTX and 0% royalties for the next 10 hours. Is that what y'all want? That's what I thought. Okay, so let's go to the hands.
And only the hands. If anybody else wants to pitch in, you can pitch the fuck out because all of you have 2 strikes. One more
Fucking
strike,
wounded
you're out.
gazelles. Goddamn wounded gazelles. Okay, look, we're gonna go to the hands here. Fucking gazelles. Let's go again. Please keep it respectful. For the love of God, I will remove you instantly, no matter how much I like you as a person. Let's go to Banks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I nearly forgot what I was going to say. So I was going to say, like, the difference with, like, Steve Will Do It and I guess I would say, like, FTX. I was trying to think of, like, I wonder, because Steve Will Do It, like, he has, like, a big platform, but it comes to, like, media attention and all of that, but it's a media attention of, like, younger people. So, like, not really, like, anything important. And it's not really like it's not helping YouTube at the end of the day. Like it does bring ads and all of that, but like there's so many other content creators that they can like get attention from. But then I was wondering, why is Sam still like running around when obviously like he's committed to like blatant fraud? So I was debating like, so why are there certain influencers, or I guess not even influencers, he's not an influencer, but why are there certain people that don't get their shit taken down and then some do? And then I was thinking, well, at the end of the day, like, because Fidgetal was kind of talking about this, so Alex could have been reported. It's not even just about Alex, but he's just the example. But he could have been reported for anything else. Like at the end of the day, like the 2 topics that will get you instantly like to the pico top of the ban list will be sexual harassment and hate speech, or like terroristic threats. Those 3 things will get you reported, other than like anything else. So I was wondering. I was like, well, why the fuck is Sam Bankman just running around and still tweeting away? Why? And then I was like, well, it's bringing more attention to Twitter, because a lot of people that are curious about what's going on, they click those ads from fucking Instagram, and then it brings them to Twitter so they can read the thread.
But Banks, Shill and Villain was also bringing people on the app. Like people listen,
but not to that extent, bro. Not like, you're correct, 100%, but not the level of, dude. Alex was bringing people in by like a couple thousand. But
well, obviously compared to Sam Bankman-Fried, but to like,
you think he was bringing people onto the app? You think people are like, oh, that guy's yelling at people, let me come into Twitter?
I think people who use the app come on to the app again to listen to his space.
So people that were already on the app.
Yeah,
make up your mind.
Wouldn't be using it at that time if he wasn't running this space. Same with Leap. There wouldn't be, I guarantee you, the 150 people here right now, all of them wouldn't be here if Leap wasn't hosting a space. It's the same thing with a lot of hosts. That's how it is.
Well, I
fundamentally disagree.
Look, I mean, people would probably be in a different space or something.
I would say, yeah, like 50-50 or like 60-40 on that one. Like people are here either because
90-10. This is just aggregation.
90-10, dude.
That's kind of
digital. You're a fundamental. You're a bubblegum dude. Okay, Banks, finish.
All right, why isn't Tani posting fucking Burden's thirst traps at the top of the screen right now? Like, this is completely out of control.
Bricked up. But yeah, I think it's just also just for like just media attention at the end of the day. Like I could be wrong, but Fidgetal, do you think it's just more so to like garner like attention from the media? Do you think that's why they just have kept Sam up here?
No, I think actually, so to actually go deeper into it, I think Sam SBF is actually a beautiful version of what Leap's trying to project, which is the freedom of speech in terms of being able to sink your own ship or speak freely. Where I think Leap is missing the boat completely. And Burden, I would give you credit in the conversation, but you're cute, dude. We'll talk in a couple of years. Just absorb, understand. If we knew each other in person, I'd be helping you buy your first business. I'd be helping you understand your first protocol. I'd be helping you write your own PPM and your business plan, get a use of funds. So, do I think that
PP.
just Burden? Just understand, you will be calling me within the next 6 months when you have your first idea. And if you don't, you'll be thinking why you didn't in the first place. So my answer to your question is, I think SBF is still on the platform because I do believe that it respects freedom of speech. What I don't believe it respects is a leech.
Okay, no, that makes sense. And yeah, because like at the end of the day, he didn't. He violated laws, which is different from violating terms of service on an app. So I was just more curious at the end of the day, like if Twitter knows like there's somebody out there like just committing like blatant fraud, then like why do they promote it? I mean, I personally don't give a fuck. I mean, honestly, like at this point, like what's going on with FTX, it's just a meme, and I just find it funny. Not the fact that people like got lost and all of that, like that shit sucks. But at this point, it's just so over talked about, and like all the things behind it is just kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, like Alex will get his account back only for the fact that like I mean, you know this. Like, there's certain AI algorithms that pick up certain hate speech, and if he didn't really have anything hateful, because dude, I've seen what Alex tweets, and it is substantially mid compared to like what I say. Like, I say some fuck shit if somebody says something dumb. Like, I borderline like cross the line sometimes if somebody's like completely in the wrong, and I'm still here. You know what I mean? But the difference is like he has a larger audience than I do. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't think what he's actually said violated like hate speech, so I think that is going to get taken up. But what Zintani was saying, like nobody's fucking here to like actually take that away. But also, Fidgetal, before I stop talking, I don't necessarily think this is like a stunt on his part, only for the fact that like I was messaging him because like I know somebody that works at Twitter, and he was asking me to help. So I don't know. Maybe he could like be doing that just so like he maybe like this is me with the tinfoil hat, like trying to string along what you were saying. Maybe he was trying to do this for media attention and like hopes that like he had to connect. But I don't know. I think that would be a little bit too far of a stretch to say that
You know
like
what, dude?
he did it for that.
My boy actually runs the Twitter account. I'll just hit him up right now and find out.
The what? I didn't hear you cut out.
My boy runs the Twitter account.
Interesting.
So I'll hit him up right now.
Get him
You're
in
gonna
here.
permanently ban him, bro. You're gonna be like, nah, fuck this guy.
Oh, I probably will.
Hold on.
I didn't even think about this. I probably will get him banned, but I'll also find out why he was banned in the first place.
Zintani, am I your phone screen? Am I your lock screen? My face? Someone just said you told them on a space that my face is your lock screen.
All right, this isn't the place to find love. Trust me. Let's jump over to
And
Jen.
welcome to
Let's
Web3
say
Love
Tinder
my
on here.
Island. Our
Twitter was
first
bugged.
contestants
My
are
Twitter was bugged.
Zintani and Burden. Leap, our host. Take it away.
Sometimes I regret my career choices. Jen, go ahead.
What's up? So yeah, I just wanted to like provide some insight into content moderation as someone who has lost lots of platforms, has like worked with Twitter to get people's platforms back. And so just like within free speech, right? Like Twitter as a platform, ultimately at the end of the day, it is within their First Amendment rights to delete whatever the fuck they want. Obviously, like they say they do it fairly, they try to, and someone definitely hit the nail on the head of like, here are the things that, you know, will definitely get you banned. Another thing too that happens, and like this is kind of one of like the downfalls of user, um, like the user ability to kind of attempt to moderate and report things. But it could also be a situation where there was like mass reporting to a degree. And that's why like one person might be penalized before others. And yeah, that's used maliciously sometimes. I really have never seen anything Shilling Villain says. So I have absolutely no idea if there was something that he did that was like to a much greater degree. But when we talk about like SBF and like, oh, he committed this crime and it's fraud, like that's what we obviously all think right now. But there's been no legal like precedent of that, right? Until a week ago, it was a person that everyone was vouching for. And so it wouldn't be like against Twitter terms if just because of past actions, right? When there's been no action, because at the time when FTX was tweeting, right, it was like as known by the world to be reliable information. And I don't think we want social media platforms to start determining what's reliable and what isn't. But yeah, I just like wanted to clarify that a lot of this does come down to laws, and yeah, we can get more into that. I know there's a bunch of hands, but
Appreciate you, Jen. I want to jump over to Diego because he hasn't spoken yet. Diego, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just smooth vibrations and interesting topics,
Oh,
right?
dude, are we on this vibrations thing again?
I mean, dude, life is a vibration, bro. Like
That is
nature's
true.
energy. Like, bruh, come on, bro. Like, have you heard of sentience? The AI? It's here. It's on the spaces now. And so that said, it's just people here are speaking about I'm not sure the name, but like the space of the Twitter, right? Um, the guy that just got shadow banned or whatever, the lizard dude, right? Um, do you guys really think that he's gonna be gone forever, bruh? This guy could pull up on MySpace, and that said, I'm just really bullish on the creators out here, and I see Banks out here, climbing and taking care of his health. So little things do go a long ways, honestly. And that said, I just wanted to come up and just share some good vibrations. And if you guys have not heard about Cyclone and the things that the Kuro
It's
Comics are doing,
evolution from the animals, guys. Don't be afraid.
well,
Don't
yes,
judge me. It's evolution from the animals.
you already.
What in the actual fuck are we talking about right now? This is like I understand I'm just, I mean, Leaf, do you know what we're talking about right now? Okay, so Leaf is his vibrations are all fucked up now. Diego and
No,
we
no,
are
I was muted. I'm sorry. No, I want to hear what Diego is. I want Diego to finish. I just brought up we are the one who became all. Well, I know you became all, but can you become muted for a second just so Diego can finish? Diego, go ahead.
And absolutely, much respect. And there's no really finish. Because at the end of the day, if we will all be up there. So, that said, I'll leave it at this. Pink lollipop. Pastel pinks. Flattering waves of wandering watercolors. A sight only seen once stepping into thy unknown scene. Cotton candy aromas. Fumigating over an unseen world. Pulsating between. Swimming and swiveling deep below.
Evolution from animals.
Creating mirror-like images.
Evolution from animals.
Life
That's
is
it.
just a dream.
Evolution from animal. That's it. Excellent.
Yes. So if you know, and that said, Leap, you're doing a great job because hosting these spaces with a bunch of these fucking normies. Goddamn, bruh. Like, that said, much love, everybody. And if you know, but goddamn, click in because it's not that far away. Take a look at self in the mirror. Take care of your grandmother. Take care of your family, and take care of your health. Thank you for bringing me up, and at times it can be a lot of energy, and that's why I spend my time unknown, solo missions. But if you know, you know. Much love. Much love. Adios.
Appreciate you, Diego. Much love to you as well. Appreciate the poem as well. Something I think we definitely need in times like this. And again, y'all, please, when someone is speaking, just let them finish. For the person that I brought up, I ended up removing them because they did not know how to be patient. Diego, I appreciate you. Let's go to the hands here. Let's go over to, we'll go to Pop on this one. Pop, go ahead.
I just want to say, I mean, it's kind of like the topic is past, but we talk about Occam's razor here a lot. You know, that the most obvious thing is probably true. I don't think that the most obvious thing is that Elon Musk was like, oh shit, you know, I don't like this Alex guy, or that there was some disgruntled ex-employee who just happened to have Alex on their radar. I think that he probably just violated the terms of service one too many times. I mean, he's known to be kind of out of pocket. And with you know, the situation being the way it is with the employees at Twitter, it just it went sideways, and it probably won't be forever. I think that all we can do is speculate wildly, and that's what we've been doing. We might as well wing woman Sintani so she can you know, tell Burden about her lock screen.
Yeah, Jen, go ahead.
Yeah, so fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go to someone else and come back to me.
All right, for sure. Zimmy, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we said so much. I'm just gonna say I also heard that your voice was in Tenny's ringtone, so would love to hear how she got that bundle package of the lock screen ringtone.
Dude, it's just,
Because I'm really interested.
they just have crushes. It's fine. It's flattering. It's okay. Zimmy, go ahead.
I don't.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're going by the hands here. Zimmy, go ahead.
Yeah, I think she got confused because like Zimmy's and Tani, she might have thought that you were flirting and giving her like your own little nickname, but sorry to cut it to you. Nope, he was just talking to me. This is gonna go back like probably 88 minutes ago. But Leap, remember Jack Dorsey and the decentralized Twitter? Like, is Blue Sky making more and more sense after tonight? And fuck it, Burden, you can hop in too. I don't give a shit. I just want to know. Blue Sky's going to the moon.
I mean, is Blue Sky available to make accounts on right now?
No. Totally closed off, closed beta. Definitely can't use it yet, but you can sign up to get put on like a wait list for it.
I'm gonna sign up right now, actually. Blue Sky, I think it's blueskyweb.org, building a social internet. The web, email, RSS feeds, XMPP chats, what all these technologies had in common is they allowed people to freely interact and create content without a single intermediary. We're building the AT protocol, a new foundation for social networking, which gives creators independence from platforms, developers, the freedom to build, and a user their own choice and experience. Sign up for the Blue Sky private beta. That sounds pretty fucking good to me right now, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm all about it. I'm literally all about it. At this point, Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency anyway. All this other shit is just scams. I don't know, Jimmy. What do you think?
I mean, you're spot on. You're spot on. I don't even know if I can add any more to that. I feel like Jen knows what she wanted to say, so I don't even want to hold the mic on her.
I remember it. Sorry, I'm like dealing with Discord stuff. But also platforms like don't care about people that are being big, especially show and villain. Like Twitter's not even monetizing off of that, right? That's not doing anything for them. They care way more about their liability, right? So at the end of the day, like if they're aware of a problem and it's one that's big enough that could get them in trouble, right? Like that's way more important to them than any of us. Especially like here where there's not a ton of like monetization coming in from specific people. That's like a 0% thing that was probably factored into the decision.
Appreciate you, Jen. You know, all this, again, I will just reinstate my own opinion. I think it, and what I was saying an hour and a half ago, I think that's really just for high profile accounts like this, they probably get manually reviewed once they reach a certain threshold of reports and like algorithmic flags that pop up. I think that there was nobody there. It was the perfect time for an attack. It didn't get manually reviewed, so the ban went through. I think that's it. I really think that is the most, to me, clear cut, concise, obvious thing that happened. If he was going to get banned for terms of service, I think it would have happened a while ago because this has been going on for a bit. And to be fair, I don't think he breached the terms of service. I don't think, like, unless there's some very specific rule that I'm not aware of. I mean, what did he do that breached the term of service? Said a project was a rug? Called people boring? None of that breached. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you actually like listen to his content, like, there's nothing there, in my opinion, that would breach the terms of service. There was no
Wait,
threats.
can you technically, because a rug is technically calling something like a scam. So, like, could that technically be? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, I feel like. So, like, is calling someone like a scam or a project a scam, like that type of lie, like defamation of some sort? I don't know.
Well, then we're all
No,
going to
but
jail for defamation.
the other two things that could be possible that aren't public, one is like if there is some sort of illegal type of thing going on in direct messages, and also like if he was botting his spaces or using bots, right? Like that's against terms of service as well, and something that you might not see outright.
So how can you prove that someone is botting their spaces? Because it's so easy for someone to say, you know what, I'm gonna go bot his spaces. I'm gonna go bot his account. I'm gonna go bot his spaces. Like I can throw a couple of $100 at this for a chance to block him. So like, how do they have proof that he's the one who did it?
They don't. And like I don't even know if that's true, right? There's just like other types of things. But yeah, it's definitely like that's a tool that's been used maliciously in the past, like on other platforms. We've seen it recently on Twitter for like a lot of the influencers who were getting botted, right? And sometimes, yeah, these platforms are gonna fucking take you down when it's not your fault at all. So yeah, just other things that, you know, terms of service violations are not always something that can be seen by the public.
Well, I'm moving back to chat roulette. There's no censorship over there.
Oh
Clearly,
God.
clearly, there's no censorship
Oh
over
my
there.
god, dude. We brought up the law and Digital just fucking spawns, dude. He just randomly spawned. He's here to give us the advice about the law.
The molecule.
Fucking bubblegum. I think we should go to Kuro.
I want to throw it over to Digital. Digital, go ahead.
I don't really have anything to say. I was DMing on the back end and watching Death Note at the same time before my girl comes home in about 2 hours. But
there we go.
That's
Yeah,
respect.
we know she's coming for you.
but
Man.
That is respect.
but
That's respect.
but I'm pretty sure Burden said some nonsense ass shit while I was going through that. So if you'd reiterate the nonsense ass shit that Burden said.
Yeah, I was telling you how like you were a fucking molecule and you reminded me of bubblegum.
What makes a molecule?
The neutrons and the protons and the hypotenuse of the Pythagorean theorem. Digital, do you know what
This is embarrassing. Okay, look, Digital,
That's
good
so
job.
embarrassing.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Okay, yeah, keep watching Death Note. It gets really. You just got to watch a couple episodes, but I promise you, it's super good.
I'm excited about it. By the way, it's the Hypothetical the hype. Shit, I can't even. It's. Do you even know what a hypotenuse is? Do you understand what the mass
Yeah,
between?
I know what a molecule is too, you drone. I was fucking making a joke.
No, so then answer the question honestly. What is a molecule?
It's
What is an atom?
Okay.
It's
This
atoms
is
hold together, you fucking drone.
all right. Let's go to the chat.
You Googled it.
Let's go to
No,
Kuro.
I knew that, dude. I knew that shit.
All right, Vernon, you're supposed to be the mature one here. Okay, Kuro, go ahead.
Okay, so you guys brought up the Jack Dorsey Web 10 thing, right? So is that a good solution for like censorship resistance? Like,
I could shed a little bit of clarity from what I know from it. I think like the biggest thing that like Jack Dorsey was trying to solve was that like he wants you to be able to be in full control of the content that you see on the platform. So it came from like a decentralized like indexing point of view, meaning that like the platform wouldn't there wouldn't be an algorithm that feeds you. Instead, like you're your algorithm.
so as opposed to being led to choose topics, you would actually get to choose topics.
Yeah, I believe you would be able to like rank your own stuff, and you would define the destiny of the content that you ultimately would see on the platform in full. And again, like I don't know like the ins and outs of it. It's like very early, like just as of a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month, they opened up like the initial sign up for it. So I personally haven't been able to like see under the hood at any capacity.
So this is just Twitter with extra steps, basically.
This Jack Dorsey leaving Twitter to go build something different, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I just signed up for the Blue Sky beta. I mean, I don't know, man. It looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool, and I like what it stands for. Am I the biggest Jack Dorsey fan? No, but more and more as the days go on, I'm getting more attracted to Bitcoin and what it stands for. And I think Web 5 is a fucking joke. It's literally Web 2 plus Web 3, but if it really is allowing us to have ownership of our content that we make on the platform and ownership of our data, and everything that comes with, then I mean, how could anybody say that they don't like it? Opposed to this platform where we don't own anything that we create on it and that we can be silenced and censored at the whim of a fucking Twitter employee just leaving the building. But before that, going rogue and fucking with the algorithm. Like, we don't know what's going on. We absolutely don't know what's going on. And I don't know. It's all just seeming more and more manipulated and more bullshit as the day goes on, to be 100% honest with you. So, let's go over to Lou. Lou, go ahead.
Hey, Jim, everybody. Can you guys hear me? I'm talking a little low right now because my roommate's sleeping. All good. Let me get some hearts. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Good. What's up? Yeah, so if I can switch the topic for a second, I know it's on censorship is good, but I feel like we've had enough talk about other people. So let's talk about us for a second. Specifically, Leap, I know you're familiar with this, is the curator economy, right? And excuse me. And right now, it's very hard for curators to monetize and distribute their content, right? Just I'm hearing you guys talk about the blue sky and signing up for beta access, and I just want to say that there's a lot of ways right now that creators can build an audience and convert that into an existing community. And just for an example, so Vitalik today just signed up for the Lens protocol, which is essentially a decentralized social media graph. It's beta access right now. So you can sign up, or if anyone wants to get in, just DM me and let me know. But today he just signed up saying, and this is a quote unquote, I can send you this screenshot from Vitalik on Lens, saying, I'm eagerly trying out Mastodon, Farcaster, Lens, and others. I'll blow up for Elon and pay his $8 a month too, but only when it's available on not a non-iOS platform. Let the best socials win. So even Vitalik is understanding that we're, obviously Twitter is not decentralized. We're very limited to the tech. We're very limited to making money. Especially these hosts. These hosts need to make money. They have, they have bills to pay. But it'd be awesome if we can, start converting to these other protocols and platforms that actually give us, the users, the creators, the curators, right, that are here every day, access to make money in other ways. So I like hearing the new talks about you know, building on the edge of the internet, right? Talking about going to these other platforms, getting out of our comfort zone, which is extremely hard. And trust me, I know this is a very emotional time in the ecosystem. And so I appreciate, everyone for being here and, specifically the hosts, because, without these hosts, I don't know what I would be doing at 1 o'clock right now. Um, but yeah, I just want to say, I think Lens Protocol, just so I hear everyone talking about Blue Sky, I think, just check out Lens Protocol and see if it's something you're aligned with as a creator. I see Kiro giving a thumbs down. Kiro, you could turn that into a thumbs up. I'm not a thumbs down kind of guy. But yeah, if you got any questions, just feel free to reach out. Thanks.
Yeah, so
Was
I
that was
the
that a
whole thing with
shill?
the
What the fuck
yeah, it
is
was a shill.
was
So
it?
No. That
yeah,
was definitely a
so
show.
I don't like the tokenomics of Lens protocol. That's the main thing that I like. They got to do better, man. That's
Can
all I'm
we
gonna
can we talk? No, I think that's good. Can we talk about that? If
Because
not, we
look,
don't
I
have
don't
to.
know what Lens Protocol is. This seems like a shill. You said let's talk about us, and then you shilled Lens Protocol.
No,
So
no. Yeah, what Lens Protocol does for us as curators, right?
yeah,
So,
but it's a what is your involvement in this platform?
right now, actually, I honestly am just a curator. So,
So you are
I
a
just
person over there trying to. Okay, yeah. So look,
no.
it seems like I'm sure it says it's a composable, decentralized social graph. It lets creators take ownership of their content wherever in their digital garden. Blah blah blah. So it's just like another thing. Like there's a million of these things. Blue Sky kind of shares some of the ideals here. This has look. If Kuro says he doesn't like the tokenomics, I'm going to go with Kuro on this one because he knows what he's talking about. I also want to keep it off like specific financial things. It's like nothing personal in any way. I just don't want to like specifically go into some protocol that I have no idea about, that I can't vouch for in regards to the legitimacy or trustworthiness of it. And I hope you can understand that. So
Can I pick the next hand leap?
go ahead.
Zintani, go ahead.
I'm really excited about Lens Protocol's ICO coming up. Is that what you want to talk about?
No, we don't. Zintani, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I memed too close to the sun. So I just want to clarify for everyone in here in regards to Burden. Ever since I saw that video of him with his showing us his jawline and his sunglasses, I've been madly in love with Burden. That's it.
Yeah.
Listen, if Functions can fall in love with whatever the fuck her name is, then Burden and Zintani. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah.
How far do you guys Burden, shut up. How far do you guys live across from each other? Where do you live, Zintani?
Unfortunately, the feelings aren't mutual, but I am flattered, Zintani. I hope one day maybe you can win me over.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we're gonna but we're gonna go to Make. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, family. Just wanted to check in, and I feel like one thing we're kind of blurring the lines with is Twitter versus FTX. FTX had 50 employees. Twitter has thousands and thousands, and they're all really fucking smart. At least I would put better odds that there are smart people there, more than 60%, which is not what I give the general public, even though I am aspirational and positive. Quality assurance people, moderators, these are people who do their jobs every single day in a micro niche with all their attention. And I don't think we're giving them credit. And I think that's because FTX was running with a skeleton crew and just went down with a stack of cards operating billions of dollars. We have to stop and say, hey, I'm sure that these moderators and people actually did their jobs pretty fucking well. Not only that, they literally locked every single door. And it's funny because I now live in Colorado, and from New York City, I moved to San Francisco. And you know what? In San Francisco, nobody really understood me, even when I was positive. And the one thing they are is they hold their values and they believe in their rights and they believe in what they're doing is right. And they believe they work fucking hard because they have to work hard even to have their jobs there. So you got a bunch of smart people who literally got the doors locked out on them. Okay? They are builders too. Just because they took a job. And we're not giving them credit. Quality assurance. So I do metaverse events, and if you're on a regular platform, there are moderators all the time checking in on what's going on, moderating thresholds and people. And that's on a very micro, small scale. We also have to stop and give people credit. And I agree with Leap, and we're letting this run our existence. We're talking about growing also. It's important we remember that. It's a big difference. And I think ultimately in Web 2 tech, the reason we all feel this way is customer service. I know that sounds crazy, but you just don't get any. So they could be 50 people, or we think bots can rule the world, but it really does take moderators. My wife, who is amazing, went from QA to a director, and she did her job and worked harder than fucking anything in a micro niche situation. Twitter locked its doors from its people. Let's not just start the blame game, and let's just burn forward. Let's feel bad for everybody involved, and let's figure out solutions. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Make. I agree with that take. That is a good take. And you know, we're saying 50 people, we're saying 100 people. Nobody actually knows the exact number. I hope it isn't 50 people. If it is 50 people, that would be horrible.
It was pretty close to 50 people running FTX. 50 people.
Yeah, no. I mean Twitter. The people are saying there's
No,
50.
that's thousands and thousands of people trying to do their jobs.
Yeah.
It's just like bots can't rule the world. Anybody could take anybody down right now. And I think it was Antani who said it. And she's probably right, because it doesn't take much. When moderators are in all of these situations, whether they're listening on like in there or have like one character that flips all the time, I 100% guarantee. And these thresholds that are put in for people and advertisers, without moderation, they break. So it doesn't take anything.
No, Meg, I agree.
And like, I'm with you. And I just want to keep it on perspective, because of all places, like just going around and fudding bullshit, this ain't the place for it. Like, I mean it. This is why we're here. This is why ultimately we're here, is not to be a gossip panel flowing around speculation, because we are so much fucking better than this. I implore you all. Leap, you're the fucking man. You are the man. You ain't going down today because you don't talk shit on people. You don't publicly ridicule anybody.
Wow.
That is true.
So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to step down. But I implore you, let's fucking build. This is not our fault. Let's fucking go.
It's Burden's fault. Look, it's. But here's the thing. I mean, should we protect the right for others to talk shit about other people? I don't know. I'm asking. That should be.
But the bots can't handle that threshold for a volume that high. This is where basic moderators come into so many of our experiences, whether you like it or not, all the way to the news. Like, whether we like that or not, there's always human moderation in these situations. And right now, that human moderation has literally got the doors locked. Yeah. And you're right. Elon is a fucking genius, but he can't run every operation in a company. He could rebuild it, and he will. I believe that. But he's alienated himself from his people. And I think if any of us were there, I think we'd be fucking shattered, and we would have walked out too. That's the crazier point to this, is that thousands of people got locked out of their jobs and given an ultimatum, and they were like, this ain't right. And we're sitting there going, what the fuck's the matter with our Twitter space? I'm surprised we're not asking about the people.
Serious.
Yeah,
Make, we are asking about the people, and you're right, Make. You are right. Shit can run without people because there's too many specific instances that bots just won't be able to help. They just won't. Like you can't. There's been so many times where I've had a problem, and like I just need to explain it to a person for it to fully be solved. Like it can't be solved with a bot because it won't understand what I'm trying to say. It won't understand the problem, the severity, the miscommunication. Like it'll just read it, then it'll solve it, and then that's that. It's not. Yeah, I don't think it's efficient. I don't think it'll. Hopefully they fix it. I need it to be fixed actually for a lot of my friends.
You're 100%. And really it's big tech's fault to not get customer service. I swear to God, I'm going to Metaverse Miami right before Basel, and I had a company try and scam me today. Literally, like as soon as I booked the hotel, that turned out to be like a condominium being run from some dude, and I paid through Google, and then they were asking for my credit card and my license over text, and I was like, oh hell no. And then they wouldn't cancel, and then some dude from Texas called and threatened me. Shit got real, but I got my money back. But a bot wouldn't have fixed any of that. And Google's like algorithm didn't fix it, but there are people just fucking grinding. And you're 100%, Britt. It's a bigger story, and you're right, Leap. But I don't think we could look at this as normal times and leap at speculation. There's a fucking, let's fucking go.
Appreciate you, Make. Let's jump over to who has not spoken yet. Isaac. Isaac, go ahead.
Yo, sorry. Good morning, Leap. I've just woke up. It's 6 a.m. in England. But on censorship, I feel like other than calls for violence, people should be able to say whatever they say. Sorry, 1 second. People should be able to say whatever they want to say. Like, I hate racism and stuff like that, and people have been racist to me before, but I feel like you should be able to block them people yourself, and it shouldn't be up to like the social media platform. So other than calls for violence, I feel like Elon should just take a step back, man.
Appreciate
Yeah.
you. Go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think he's just like he's probably really excited and just testing shit out, trying to go all in. And I do agree with what you're saying. Like if the community thinks something is bad, they'll act on it. Everyone will say, "Yo, that shit wasn't right." Like, cancel culture is a real thing. And in some cases cancel culture isn't that bad. Like some people say shit and then deserve to get canceled because it's not right, it's racist, it's horrible, it's scandalous. So many I agree with that point. But I think he's just testing shit. I mean, he how long has Elon been with Twitter? Like I don't think it's even been like it hasn't even been 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So I think it's early, but I think he'll definitely figure it out. I think he's just going really fast. He's a fast motherfucker. So I think if problems do come up, and I don't know, does Elon listen? I'm not the biggest. I mean, I like Elon. I support what he does, but I don't know if he listens to people. If people say this is that, but I did just see a poll. He just made a poll like today saying, should we reinstate Donald Trump on Twitter? And I was like, what the fuck? Like he's asking, and it was like 50-50. I was like in shock, but I think he does. So I'm excited. I've said this multiple times. I'm excited for Elon for Twitter. I think he's gonna do great things. I think a lot of shit's just going down right now, a lot of misinformation. But for the future of Twitter, if there was one man I wanted to be in charge of, it would be Elon, 100%. I appreciate your take though, Isaac. Let's go to Banks. Banks, go ahead.
Yo, so pretty much a lot of people already covered the topics I was going to say, but I'm actually going to go to bed. Zintani, do you mind checking your DMs? It's actually something important. But I hope everybody has a good night. Thanks for having me up here, Leap. A lot of great takes. Fidgetal, have a great night. Burden, Leap. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks.
Peace out. Peace out. Peace out, Banks. Have a great night. Let's go to Web3 Isabel, I think. Elizabeth, sorry if I mispronounced that, but you were throwing down a bunch of thumbs down during all that, so I'm interested in your take. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's always fun to listen to people talk about things. So I'd say on the who does Elon allow in? I mean, whoever he wants to. He did it with both sides of the parties, but his biggest thing was all I want is free speech. And we're looking at things in particular. So I love that he is like reinstating people that for some bot reason. I mean, let's face it. Has anybody else here been botted out? Like fact check, all of this and that. There is no developer that's sitting behind that. There's no customer service person sitting behind that. It is literally an algorithm that is a bot that does that. So it's super cool to see Elon step on the game, and I was curious to see from you all's perspective, like what kind of bots you've seen. I don't know, being taken down, whether that's like maybe hashtags, maybe that's ads or people in particular. It's always a fun subject.
Well, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if anybody does, but these bots they're going like I don't know if you guys were seeing the other day or the other. It's been going on for a while, but sometimes random tweets will just randomly get 1,000 retweets, just randomly. Like I've seen it happen multiple times where someone will tweet something or it'll be a reply, and they have like 50 likes, 1,000 retweets, and like 2 comments. And I've gone into a space before where I've spoken and I've gone a bunch of followers, and when I go to the list, it's like 56 or something, and it's just like white PFEs, you know, those like the one you just get from getting Twitter. Like it's a bunch of those with like 4 followers, and it's there's a lot of bots on Twitter. It's ridiculous, more than any social media app I've used personally.
Also a ton of services, and it's not just social media or not just Twitter, but like if you Google it, you can find a bunch of places where you can buy all of these things, and it's a lot cheaper now. Like back in earlier days of social media, and still I'm sure people do it, it's just more obvious now, right? But like that was a strategy that a bunch of people used, and it's essentially growth hacking, right? When it's not used maliciously. And yeah, but it does 1,000% exist. Like I've used that for clients in the past, not to other people, right? But like to find people that are following, whatever it is. But if you Google it, you can 100% find these services, and they are available. I'm sure more people use them than get in trouble, right? It's just at a certain threshold, it becomes obvious. And like Twitter allows you to create bots, right? Like the sales bots or whatever it is. And you set that up like through Twitter developers, and there's like very specific rules on like how many, different things and certain parameters you can do in X amount of time. And so yeah, that's just some insight there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if they'll definitely fix it, but I think they'll definitely try. Hopefully they can fix it. I mean, I had a crazy
What
incident
are
happen.
your wishes? Like, what are your Elon wishes? Both you and Lee, like both of you. Like, what do you
My
like?
wishes, get rid of bots and fix spaces and fix the algorithm and don't let people get shadow banned. And if people do get shadow banned, make it evident. Like let the account know you are shadow banned. Either you're shadow banned on the search bar, on the timeline, whatever it is on spaces. Let the actual account know. Don't go on some random website to figure that out. I think that's ridiculous. Those would be my things. But also, I wanted to tell a quick story of something that happened. So a random project used me for marketing, and they like added me and said, "Oh, you can find Burden here if you did it." It was a small video. It was like a little advertisement video, and it had like 900 views, but it had like 1,000 likes, 1,000 comments, and 1,000 retweets, like in line, and they were going up by the same amount. And I was in disbelief. I literally had to block the account because my entire like notifications were just from this account, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? But yeah, the bots are definitely a problem on Twitter more than any other app, like I prefaced before. Hopefully they get fixed. I think Elon can do it, as I said before as well. So I'm excited. I am excited for Elon. A lot of shit's going down, but I'm excited. I want to throw it over to Zintani. Zintani, go ahead.
So is Make still here? I just moved to Colorado. It's fucking beautiful here. As a side comment, but then also someone did message me, and it looks like they're interested in taking one of those old Python scripts and making it work for the current Twitter app, in case just for the community. It looks like he said he'd be interested in making that for free for the community. Just as like a heads up, could be nice in case people get targeted, because as it stands currently, to get that filter and that script, from what I can tell, you actually have to pay money. So, yep.
Yeah, I would just implore everyone, if you do use the script, I mean, I don't know how specific it is and what you can set it to and whatnot, but be careful, because I have a lot of followers who are real, who don't have a large following, could easily get swept off in that
You can
script.
also add filters like creation date. Like, there's many things that you can implement.
Yeah, I would just implore everyone to be careful when using that thing. Do your research, as always, with that kind of stuff. But let's go to Isaac. Isaac, go ahead.
Yo, Burden, I think you highlighted a really great point, is that I don't think bots are really the problem. I think if Elon just outlined some rules and maybe did like a 1, 2, 3 point hit system where he just slapped you on the wrist when you did something wrong, then we could keep the bots and we wouldn't really need that many real moderators if he just put out a rule book for what you can and can't do. Because I feel like it is a big ask to have people deal with a lot of suspension cases. But if he literally just put out something like you suggested, a lot of Twitter's problems would be solved. And also, I can't believe you didn't mention DMs in one of your wishes.
So, like, the terms of service already exist, right? And the issue is that they're not applied evenly. This is an issue across all platforms, right? And there's a ton of nuance into like how algorithms learn, right? Who develop them, what isn't taken into context, right? Like, TikTok is honestly one of the easiest places to see it in real time right now, but like there's been so many situations where like something will happen and it'll be like violence against a group of people, and then if people that identify in that group are using that word, right, like immediately they get banned. These
Yeah,
things
but
are not perfect and they're learning, but hold on. So just like that's one, but two, like with human moderation, and like there's tons of articles on this, right? In 2020, when there was a pandemic, there were less humans, and that was a large role that was like cut from most platforms across all of them. And one, there's like not enough humans in the world to moderate things properly. The amount of information that goes on these platforms, like it will never be all looked over by a human. Two, another thing is that like there is so much crazy shit that gets put on the internet that like mental health of human moderators has been so bad, and it's a job that like most people cannot do for longer than a certain amount of time without it being really damaging. So it's not like an easy thing to fill, and something that necessarily like I have been like targeted by like shit before, right? Like I've lost multiple social media platforms for like stupid reasons. I play with shit to see like, you know, if you can push it. And so it's like a problem that is not going to be solved just by Elon or by anyone, because it's something that is so ever changing, right? And that's why there's this like discrepancy between rules and who gets affected by the rules and who can get away with them. And like a lot of that is algorithms. The
yeah,
other
but
things, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but Jen, like right now, like this kind of what I was trying to get at is like things that aren't apparent, and I understand it's in the terms and conditions, but we don't know what parts of those terms of conditions apply to us. Like right now, I'm shadow banned, Leap is shadow banned. We don't know why, right? We have no clue. It would just be great if like even a bot DM'd us and told us, hey, you were shadow banned because of this. You did this. You can solve it by doing this. Like that would just be great. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know, Leap didn't know until someone told us to go check, right? And we checked and we got shadow banned, and we have no clue why, and we don't know how to fix it. Somebody had to come on.
You don't stop the shadow ban. The shadow ban is the first iteration.
But someone came up.
You being
Someone came up.
annihilated overnight. So you will wake up and it will be gone. So shadow banning is the first iteration of you being gone from. So like protect your data right now while you're being quote unquote shadow banned, because tomorrow you could have no social media. Just telling you, straight up.
So
I don't think that is that true.
That's incorrect.
Well, it is incorrect that all of us could wake up tomorrow with no social media, but also like I'm just saying, Leap, I like just searched for you. You come up in my searches. I searched from an account that I don't follow you on. You come up first. So
No, I'm not search banned, but I am ghost banned.
Shout it. Okay. Yeah. And also like the accuracy of those checking websites is like 50-50. But that being said, there are ways to counteract it, right? I totally agree, right? It would be great to give a heads up, but I don't think that platforms will ever do it. But the one other thing that I want to say,
why like that is needed. Like why am
I
I
live
not?
in a van
so let me
under
finish
a
my sentence because I
bridge
think it might answer
with a big waist.
that question. But like the reason why platforms have terms of service and have to do these things is to protect themselves. So like especially in America, right? But when you're using the internet in America, and obviously other countries have other laws, and I'm not trying to leave that out, but like Section 230, Sesta Fosta, like the Patriot Act, those are three acts that have heavily affected like these terms of service and how platforms have to comply. And so I don't necessarily know if it's like in their best interest. And I'm not saying that's good for us, right? To be like, hey, here's a warning. I don't know if it's scalable. And I absolutely agree. I think people should have warnings. I think there should be recourse, right? And that's something that a lot of like advocacy groups are pushing for. And I think I've been part of one of like the only successful lawsuits against a platform for like discrimination within their like content moderation. And that's absolutely something that should exist. I don't disagree at all. But the other thing is like,
I have a question.
what?
Are you?
All right. Okay. So in this space, we go by the hands. Once a host or a co-host calls on you, you can stay in the opinion, ask a question, do whatever you want to do. Until then, let the person who is speaking finish, please. Thank you. Jen, go ahead.
Yeah, all I was going to say is like Elon can have any ideal that he wants, right? And there's a lot of other people that have tried that. But at the end of the day, there's certain types of content, right? Like exploitation of minors, things that are just straight up illegal that like they're, actual threats to safety. It's the same reason you can't yell fire in a movie theater that is not on fire, right? And so unfortunately,
That
like
is just such a misconception. I hate when people use that. Sorry, Burton, I had to fucking interrupt that because that is not a true thing. But go ahead.
I mean, it kind of is. But anyway,
not it's from a ruling that was used to jail war protesters.
Yo,
in World
let
War
her
I.
talk.
And then
Why are
it
all
was
of you
overturned.
interrupting
It's
her?
such
What is
a
going
fucking
on?
honestly, y'all
misconception.
can raise.
You guys think this is
All right,
a
hold on.
fucking zoo?
Hold on. You know, there's a lot of opinions when it comes to this whole topic, and clearly we all want to have that opportunity to speak on those opinions, and that's why this space is here. I think of it almost as sometimes it's podcast form, but more often than not it's kind of like an open mic, right? You wait your turn, you say what you want to say, somebody says something to you, you respond, whatever it might be. But it only works if we all respect the right for the other person to have enough time to speak their full opinion. Now, if you do want to like rebuttal or give a rebuttal on any specific thing someone else says, maybe just like throw up a couple down votes and we'll probably jump over to you to hear what you have to say. Again, we need to keep it respectful. This is, sometimes, oh man, Twitter is an interesting thing. Twitter is
Listen,
definitely an
the, the,
interesting
the
thing.
next wounded gazelle that decides their take is more important than someone else's can go wound and recover in the listeners for 5 minutes. Okay? Because you drones need to understand that your take isn't better than someone else's. Your hand isn't more important than the person who put it up before you. Everyone's takes are equal here. So put your hand up and we'll get to your ass. Bad brothers, you're a drone, but I love you. Okay.
All right, you wounded gazelles. All right, who was it? Jen that was speaking. We'll
Yeah,
go back to
Jen.
Jen.
And let's try to keep it concise because there are hands up and I can tell everyone has something to say. But Jen, go ahead.
Yeah, probably good, but I'll pin some references that people can look at if they're interested. But there's just other considerations, and it's bullshit legislation. And I think that's a lot of what needs to change for us to truly have like what we consider free speech or more free speech on any social media platform that uses the internet, right? So yeah, I'll go
Thank
to
you,
the other
Jen.
hands.
Thank you, Jen. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. And I need everyone to bear with me here. Okay. We're gonna go to Bad Brothers to respond. Then we're gonna go to K who hasn't spoken yet. Then we're gonna go to Top who hasn't spoken yet. Let's go.
I don't really want to respond. I was just trying to correct misinformation about fire in a crowded theater, which is an often used expression that is tied from a ruling used during World War I to jail anti-war protesters that was overturned in a later ruling. It's something versus Ohio. I forget what it's called. But yeah, that's all I wanted to correct, Bergen.
Jen, is there anything you want to say to that?
Nope, you're good.
All right, perfect. Let's go to Kay Lauren. Kay, go ahead.
I was just curious, how do you find out if you're shadow banned? What is the website? I missed that part.
Fuck. Okay, I don't know.
Just Google it.
Yeah, don't quote me on this. I think it's Shadowbird or something like that, but I have no clue. I searched it up earlier. It was off a link someone sent me. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think it's Shadowbird. But be careful on those websites because some of them are fishy. But yeah, go ahead, Top Shot.
All right, so what I want to know is why did spaces become so policed? Why are they so censored? Why are they so hostile?
What do you mean?
Just everything. I mean, if whatever you're saying is not calculated and precise, I mean, you're a shiller, you're an idiot. Like,
are you getting this from this space specifically, or just all
no,
spaces?
not this space specifically, but just in general.
Well, I can maybe give a little insight to that. So, very rarely will I shut something down. And the only times I will is if I feel like it is just like blatant shilling with some sort of financial interest from the person. And I've made that mistake before because sometimes people are talking about good stuff that is worth talking about. The problem is I feel like I have to take a zero tolerance approach with some things. And the reason is because the moment that some people do it, it just becomes a chain reaction of other people doing it. Now, we've definitely never, ever called anybody an idiot or insulted, and I will actually shut down the conversation if I feel like it is getting disrespectful.
Leap, have you ever thought about censoring the people you have up so you avoid that issue?
So I have thought about it. I have thought about like carefully curating who I allow on stage and who I don't. The problem is it becomes an echo chamber of basically all of us just agreeing with each other. And what I would, because like, look, look at Fidgetal, for example. Fidgetal is a good friend of mine. I really like Fidgetal. Like, I like him a lot. But we also disagree on so many things, and we will debate / argue in this space all the time.
Is that not
But
good?
no. I think that's good. That's what I'm saying. I think that's good. I think that it's important to have people on stage that do disagree with not only me but the co-hosts and other people on stage, because the way that we end up learning, and this is cringe, but it's true. The way that we end up learning is when we do debate and disagree, and then eventually find some middle ground. So I'm not
Right.
willing.
I mean, I'm glad you say that, but it contradicts everything that's going on with spaces.
So
Like, truthfully.
So I don't have any control over what other people do in their spaces. Now, to be fair, I understand the perspective of spaces host. And unfortunately, you do need to take a very zero tolerance rule when it comes to a lot of stuff. And I've talked to a lot of spaces hosts behind the scene and in person. And, there's a few common, like, just common thoughts that go between, like, people just across the board don't really like shilling. And the reason is not because we don't want to hear about what you're talking about, but because this is a platform with a lot of people in it. And yes, the space isn't huge. There's 160 people in here right now, but we do have thousands of people that come through the space every night, and we don't want people to feel like they're being sold anything. So that means,
No, I get that, bro. But like, you have a great power. You are the host. You accept who speaks. Does anyone like look over who's about to speak? Like, you
Yeah.
can't say we don't
Top
want
shot.
people to shill, but you're the one that's accepting people to speak.
well, I don't know what Burden. I don't know what they're gonna say. Like, I can't read their mind on what they're gonna say, and I have let up people before that, like, I immediately regretted letting up. That being said, there was somebody the other day that I knew was gonna, like, criticize me and go at me the moment I let them on stage,
Which is good.
and I still let them on stage because it's not fair for me to, like, purposely not let people up because they have a negative opinion of me. So I'm not down to censor it. Now, there are times when people don't get let up on stage because just it doesn't work out that way. We have a lot of people requesting, and sometimes they just don't get a chance to come up, and I don't like that. We're trying to improve that. That being said, everyone is allowed on stage, whether they like me, dislike me, or anybody else on the stage as well. And I think that's the way you have a very balanced conversation.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But like,
No, but like.
no, what do you mean?
No, but like.
No,
Just hear
okay.
it.
Do you want me to
Absorb.
explain what my
No,
like
no, no.
See, this is a moment where I like Digital, but I disagree with what he's doing because you got to let Top Shot finish. Top Shot, please. The stage is yours.
But like.
Digital. Top Shot, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I can't control what other stages are doing. I mean, I think the best thing that we can do is just allow anybody on stage, and if we disagree with what they're saying, then we'll disagree in a verbal debate. I won't just disagree by basically limiting their ability to come on the stage. While this is a privately run space by me, um, I think of it as a public forum, or at least I try to think of it that way. And I think that everyone should have an opportunity to come up and speak their mind. And again, I think that's important. And do you think that's not the right way to do it?
So I listened to you guys, and I'm about 46 minutes and 50 seconds into Death Note.
Digital, just one moment. Like, let me just talk to Top Shot here real quick. Top Shot, do you think that, do you agree with what I'm saying, or you disagree?
Dude, he's watching the Sam Bankman-Friedman porn. Like, he gave up.
Digital, that's the last strike. I love you, but I can't do another exception. Top Shot, go ahead.
I don't think he's here. Top Shot, are you here?
Brother, I'm here. I keep getting muted. I don't understand. Like, bro, I've been in this shit for so long. I've seen spaces. I've seen how great they can be, and I don't go in spaces that often. But I don't like how spaces are becoming. And I come in here, I try to talk to Leap, and I get muted fucking 3 times. I'm not even attacking anyone. I'm
Top
getting
Shot, I only
thumbs
muted.
down. Like,
I muted
what's it
so
matter?
I muted because Fidgetal was interrupting you. I think maybe you didn't realize
No,
that part. I
it's
was
fine.
literally just
Dude, I'm
muting
not
him.
mad. I'm really not mad at you, but like I'm trying to fix this whole situation. Like, just don't let just like look at who's requesting to speak. If if it looks like they're gonna chill, don't let them up.
Top Shot. It's easier said than done. People with normal accounts, even friends come up all the time and say a shill or something, and sometimes it's not even noticeable. Like there are good shillers who come up and shill something, and you're like, oh, was that even a shill? Like, can you identify that as a shill? You know what I mean? There's
Well,
no
Burden,
telling.
I think the shilling, actually, we don't really have that much of a problem in this space with people shilling. It maybe happens at
Hey, what's up,
most.
guys? Have you guys heard of Valhalla? They're minting really soon. So I'm really bullish on them because honestly, the team, they're VC backed. Oh,
Dude,
K.
I already max minted K
Bro,
money.
okay, don't worry. You're not gonna get suspended. You're fine.
No, but honestly, you brought up a thing. Shilling. Is shilling really bad for the community?
It's not bad for the
100.
it's not bad for the community, but it's just not what I personally want in our
No, but
space. And
it is bad for the
Why
community.
is it bad?
Okay,
Burden, it's
Killing make you a villain?
I'll explain to you why it's bad in my opinion. Number one, selling something to your community that you didn't do research on could be detrimental to you and also to the community that's listening to you. Number two, people like me and Leap and people like all over the stage, like K Money, Kuro, all these people, they get offers all the time for the same thing to let someone on stage and show a project and get paid for it, but we deny it every single day. Well, I do at least, and I know Leap does, and we don't take those offers, and we can do research on them. And the problem is, we do research on them, but we don't know what they're going to do in the future. And if somebody that is listening to our space decides to pay money to mint whatever they're shilling or buy whatever they're shilling and then get rugged later on, they're going to come back here and blame us because people love to blame.
So is that not your fault?
That would be our fault, which is the reason why we don't allow it.
It's really just a security thing. Like even if somebody pins something up and it has a link in it, we will do our best to remove it as fast as
Well, yeah,
possible.
you shouldn't allow that. But like, if someone says jump off a bridge, are you gonna jump off a bridge? Like,
I think that's a bit of an extreme.
well, brother,
depends who's
dude,
saying it.
like.
Wait, Top Shot. So if you could just TLDR, like, is your complaint that people are being let up and that they're shilling? Because
No,
first you're saying
I don't care about the shilling. I just hate the like, zero ideas are being propagated through the community. Because if an idea is, people think it's a shill, and they immediately shut it down. They criticize them, when really it's like, dude, we're not telling you to buy shit. No one's telling you to buy shit, but just like, I don't know. I just don't like how the spaces are so heavily like, they're so heavily controlled.
wait, Top Shot. You said okay. So I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you in terms of ideas being propagated. Now the thing is, first you said, why don't I just not let people up that I think are going to shill? So first you were telling me to control the stage in a more strict manner by curating the people up here, and now you're saying that we should let everybody
I'm
up.
saying review them. I'm saying review them.
I know, but those are two like on opposite sides of the coin in a way.
If you look at an account, you're gonna be able to tell if it's legit or if it's just a scam shill account.
I mean, of
If you
course.
tell me different,
No. Of course. I mean, we will look. I mean, if you have 0 followers and no PFP and like nothing on your account, or it's like
and
straight
no
up
tweets or
of
doesn't
course.
engage, like
of course, and those people don't get let up, but everybody else does get let up, whether you agree or like me or dislike me, and
No,
that's the way
I'm
it's
not
going to be.
saying it doesn't have to be like or dislike. It just shouldn't be. If you have something cool to say, let them say it. Like,
We
what's the
do, we
matter?
do, we absolutely do. Here's the
Still
thing.
waiting for you to say something cool.
I'm saying it right now.
Look, so
Oh,
I
my
hear what
bad.
you're saying. I definitely do. I think the way to look at it is that it's like chefs in a way. Like you can have 20 chefs make like a grilled cheese, but they're all going to make it in a different way. Everyone has their own style of running spaces. For me personally, we let anybody up for the most part, unless they're like a known troll or a known somebody who's just going to come up and just do things that aren't good. Besides that, if there's a shill, I might call it out after. A lot of times I don't even stop it in the middle and still let them get it out. The thing with it's exactly what Burden said. I don't want somebody to buy something that was talked about in my space and then end up losing money on it. That's why. It's not
I
it's not because
agree.
I don't like the it's not because
No,
I don't like what they're doing or I
I'm
don't like the project. That's just it's a safety reason.
And also, you know what some people will do, Top Shot, which actually happens a lot in this space, is somebody that doesn't even look like they're going to show comes up and then brings up a topic that involves their bags. It's happened multiple times. They come up and Leap asks the question, right? They're like, okay, so how many of this item do you own? And they'll say, oh, I own 20. The reason that person is trying to bring up that topic is to pump their own bags. It happens all the time, and there's no way of telling if this person is or isn't going to do that.
Now the thing, okay, so to be honest, we really don't have it. There's like multiple things you brought up, and I think there are some worth discussing because the shilling thing is, to be honest, like I think the community here does a great job, and everybody understands like we actually don't have a problem with shilling. It'll happen once every 2 or 3 days, maybe one time every 2 or 3 days of every night spaces for 8 hours every time. So that's not something that's even a relevant issue within our space. And actually, most people understand spaces etiquette, and it doesn't happen like in most bigger spaces, shilling does not happen because people know that it's not the right thing to do. It's not the right way to get the idea out there. Now, in regards to everything else, I'm not going to police the stage. Anybody can come up with no problem whether you are going to. And I actually say this all the time. In order to get a balanced conversation, I encourage people. I said it at the beginning of this space. I say it in every space multiple times. I encourage people to come up and disagree with anything that's set up here. I don't care if people get mad or yell or if it gets heated. I could care less because I want good conversation and good content, and that goes with both. So ultimately, that's it. If there's a specific critique that you have with this space, I'd love to hear it. If it's an overall spaces thing, I feel you. That's why I started my own space because I didn't like the way a lot of spaces were being run. And I think that's the easy solution to this stuff is build a space, cultivate a culture that you like, and if other people like it, they'll support it. And I think it's as simple as that.
yeah. No, 100%. I'm talking about spaces as a whole, and I think people see where I'm coming from.
No, I definitely see where you're coming from. I definitely do. And again, this is why I started my own space because I didn't like, but exactly what you were talking about before was happening to me. I was not getting let up on stages because of maybe I didn't have a good enough PFP or I didn't have enough followers or nobody knew me. So I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna create my. Dude, why did they
But
add that
it's not
emoji?
even that. Like, I
Why
can
did they
get
add
up
this
in any
emoji?
space. It's like, dude, I've seen this for so long, and the spaces have gone to shit.
Not all
Like,
of them.
I'm just being straight up.
Not all of them though. You know that. There's a lot of
No,
good
they
spaces.
have, bro. They
Not
have.
all of them.
Yes.
Not all of them.
Okay, all is such. Yeah, of course, not all of them, but the big players.
Well, who would be the big players?
I need to
I don't
join.
know, you, Shilling, like, that's the only people I see doing shit.
Well, I appreciate you saying I'm a big player. I mean, there's
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Did you just call Leap a big player and shit at the same time?
No, I said Leap and Shilling. You're the only people I do.
Yeah,
I
but
said you're the
didn't you
only.
just say all of the big players have gone to shit?
No. Are you listening?
no.
Are you
I'm doing my
listening?
best.
Are you
Top
I
fucking
hear
Shot,
no
kidding
no
me?
I hear what you're saying. I definitely hear what you're saying. I think overall spaces could improve. I think the reason that they are the way they are is because they become inevitably they become echo chambers of people that agree with what the host says, and that's the
I agree
reason
with you.
I I feel like I can't control this anymore.
I actually think I'm on acid. Like I'm like in disbelief of everything.
No.
I
The thing is,
completely agree.
Top Shot is no. You're making a great point, and that's why I do what I do because. But the thing is, there are great spaces. Like Thread Guy's awesome. There's Easy Eats Bodega. He does a great job. ZK Shark does a great job. Mark and Amy host spaces. Like there's K host spaces. Like
Fuck you.
there's a Jonah, of course. Jonah hosts great spaces as well. There's a lot of people that host like solid spaces. I see Goody host spaces as well. There's a lot of people that hold solid spaces, and without any sort of inherent like bias towards one specific thing or the other. I think there's people now that just like I'm telling you, I would bet any amount of money the spaces game is about to change significantly, and what used to work is not going to work going forward. And I can assure you that the quality will go up as a whole, but it's going to take time. And the way that that quality goes up is by us hosting good spaces. There's many people like Tirana Cinema. He used to come to this space all the time. He still does. I saw him hosting he started because of our space. He started hosting spaces. I saw him host a space earlier today with 200 people in it. And now he's propagating the culture that like we've cultivated here as well. So it spreads. It spreads. If you do good, people will start to see that. They will adopt that culture, and now they will start doing spaces and doing a good job as well. It's as
And I'm
simple as
not
that.
saying you're not doing a good job.
No, I don't think you are at all. I'm just saying in
Okay.
general.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Burden coming in with a quick intermission. Bottom right corner, there's a purple button that you can press. When you press that button, it takes you to a new screen. You can like, you can retweet, you can comment. We appreciate all those buttons, so I really, really would appreciate if you did all those buttons. It helps support the space, helps get the space out. That is all. Leap, back to you.
Well, Top Shot, I appreciate you coming up and speaking on that. I agree with you. I think spaces as a whole definitely need to improve, but I think that we're getting there, and I think, I would hope that spaces like our space are helping cultivate a culture that is beneficial and positive to Web3 as a whole. My concern is the fact that we've even put this much reliance on spaces. This is what we were talking about earlier, Top Shot, where like spaces have become this uh, center narrative pushing thing that almost could be to the detriment of Web3 regardless, because we've relied on them so heavily for the cult for people that like push the narrative. So I don't know, maybe we need to focus more on not putting spaces hosts on a pinnacle and just treat them like anybody else instead of like influencers, so on and so forth. But it is social media at the end of the day, and these things are natural in terms of the progression of certain individuals. And I think you just got to support the people that you want to support, and hopefully the good people just thrive, and the bad ones fade away. That's really all I can say. I want to jump over to Kev. Kev, go ahead.
Oh, dude, I completely agree with you. Yeah, to be honest, I really, I don't even know why I'm here. I just heard some yelling, and I was like, oh, like a lot of people yelling at each other. That makes up for a really good popular space. And then I joined, and then Leap did what he does, and he, dissolved the situation and like made everyone like make up, and he made some peace. So that's really boring. So.
To be
I,
fair, I was not yelling.
oh
Cameron.
no, yeah, Top Shot. Yeah, you could never yell. You sound so relaxed right now. It is,
So chill.
dude, like the most chill. But yeah, I actually just I was really just up here just to raise my hand and throw up some sus emojis. And to listen to Jonah talk about gaming or whatever it is. But Jonah, can we
Well,
please play
I'm
Call of
gonna be
Duty tonight?
honest. I'm gonna be honest, K Money. I think that a lot of people like Isaac. I think Isaac is about to rain hell, and I think Zintani might as well. I mean, these people have been waiting, and they want to speak on the situation, and they had takes. So I think it's about to be crazy. So I want to go to Isaac and then Zintani.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rain hell, but I have to like hardly partially disagree. I mean, Top Shot, if you don't like it, please just go make your own space. That's the beauty of spaces. If people want to let shillers up, that's their opinion and that's their space, let them do it. You coming in here and trying to moderate spaces based off what you think's right is, I think, defeats the whole point of like the freedom of speech argument we're doing. And if you don't like it, please just start your own.
Yeah, fair point. I mean, I don't want to start a space. That's why I hopped in here.
Hey, Top Shot, this is actually a good opportunity. And I would, if when we do go to the rest of the hands, if y'all want to throw in your one point on this as well, I would love to hear it. What is one thing that we can do to improve spaces as a whole? And I'm not talking from an architecture standpoint, not like a feature that you could add, but in terms of the culture and how they're operated and managed. What is one thing? Because, and I actually ask people this all the time. I actually asked this to GoGo the other day as well, and she gave me some really good insight on something that I'll just say what it was. It was that move it on a little bit faster, because sometimes people will have their hand up for a long time and they end up just dropping off because they've waited an hour to get up on stage and then another hour to speak, and that's not okay. And sometimes, and this is my fault, I will monopolize the conversation and monologue exactly like I'm doing right now, and then it causes people to wait very long, and that's not good, right? Like, that's just not good at all. So that was one piece of advice that I thought was really, really helpful that she gave me. And yeah, that's why if there is something that we can do to improve, let us know, because this isn't just about spaces. It's like we really want to do this on a lot of other platforms as well, and I think that we can become one of the most impactful. So
yeah, no, Leap, I don't want you to think that like your spaces.
Did he just rug?
Top Shot, I think you rugged. So we'll come back to you in a moment here. I want to jump over to Kate. Didn't you just have your hand up?
Yeah, I don't want to leave the space, so I'm just parking here. Okay. It's Zintani's turn. Please respect her hand. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll jump over to Zintani. That's actually such a hack. If you leave your hand up, you won't be removed. Go ahead, Zintani.
One of the things we could do to make the spaces better are not have like 25-minute interludes of conversations that don't make any sense, with points being made that make literally zero sense. But the reason I had my hand up this whole time is we were talking about shadow banning, and Burden and Leap, you both said you're both shadow banned. So in regards to that, I've been shadow banned in the past too.